All right. 2023, it was work harder. In 2024, it was Juan Crow. And now in 2025 is hold your own nuts. Tether man, illegal man, fleer man. It's certified foundational Black Americans, y'all. Y'all know what it is. FBA winning, illegals getting deported, all of them. Birthright citizenship, 14th Amendment. We're going to break it all the way down today. And as we break this thing down, they asses is going to get put in handcuffs and they're going to be going back to their homeland. Sorry you couldn't get your homeland popping. Sorry you want to flee. Sorry you want to live, mooch off of us. It's all over now. It's a wrap. This is the end of the tethers, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and make that clear. This is the end of the tethers. Everybody can go ahead and we can celebrate. Taking it back to their motherland, and they ain't got nothing to do with ours. I want any of my brothers and sisters that want to come on up because we're going to chop it up. But let me make this clear, fam. When you start dealing with these people, I want y'all to see the energy that they had just a year ago. I want y'all to remember all this. See, y'all know we see and we hear every goddamn thing. I want y'all to remember how they was talking. All of these folks were sliding in our spaces very, very bold. They was being very, very bold because they thought Kamala Harris and Joe Biden was going to hold them down. And now they come to find out that them TPSs have been revoked. And I'm talking about them Tether protection services. They ain't none. And foundational Black Americans damn sure ain't gonna be your protection service. So what you got now? What you got now? It was all good when you was running around here talking about Juan Crow. It was all good when you was running around here talking about you helped build America too. When Joe Biden was running around here talking reckless. Now everybody sees the way it's really going on. FBA, we up right now, and everybody else is on the decline. That's just what it is. But we seen this coming beforehand. So they're going to have to go back to wherever the fuck they came from, excuse my language. But now this right here is going to set the precedence for everything forward. Now everybody's going to have to see exactly what we've been telling them. They can thank FBA later. They can thank us later, okay? Because we was right, they was wrong. We right here in our homeland, and everybody else is going back to their weak-ass homeland. I'm seeing all types of things popping off on the internet. I see people self-deporting. I see people getting arrested. I see people getting snatched up. I seen folks back in Mexico. They looking for homes and every goddamn thing. And I'm laughing. I'm laughing, okay? Because all these people had the opportunity to do right, but they wanted to do wrong. And if you do wrong, then you did this to yourself. You a victim of your own creation, all right? And now they're going to be a victim of deportation. And I don't give a damn. And that's the way it's going to go all the way across the board. Birthright citizenship, mass deportations, all of these things are factors. Let's be real, y'all. These tethers and these legals, they only had, one or two things. Coming on over here illegally and then trying to latch themselves onto what we created. That's all they had. That's all they had. Both of them have been stripped away. All that's gone. Somebody done pulled the goddamn rug out from underneath them. So now what you got? Because we're not saving you. And it's clear now, family. See, we set the precedence by not going to none of these little rallies and protests. We set the precedence now that America has to hold their own nuts. Okay? Because foundational Black Americans, we not out here being shamed or carrying all the weight for people no more. So now America got to hold their own. When we didn't go out there to them little ICE protest rallies, whatever the hell they was out there doing, now the world finally sees what it's like when foundational Black Americans ain't out here lending assistance to you. We're not out here helping everybody. And you seen how it was. It crashed out. You couldn't get FBA to join none of these bootleg boycotts. We ain't going to none of these bootleg rallies, none of these bootleg marches, none of that. We ain't going to none of that because none of that concerns us. We are non-deportable. And Team Non-Deportable is whooping Team Deportable's ass right now because Team Deportable thought they were non-deportable because the Democrats told them so. I guess they told you wrong. You better go get you a Tether refund. All right. You better go get you a Tether refund because you can't have none of ours. All right. We got what everybody wants, family. And that is citizenship to the United States of America because we built this whole goddamn thing and the world wants it. All right. They don't like the fact that the people they hate so much got everything that they desire. They wish that they were us. Everybody know it. I said this before, fam. Last year was they not like us. This year is all about us. Everything. It's all about us, tangibles. It's all about us, reparations. It's all about us getting to the bag. It's all about us standing on business. You name it, we see it, we got it, we spot it. So anybody who wants to come on up, to chop it on up, let's go ahead. And I want all of us to go ahead and celebrate this victory, family, because we told them that it's going to be reparations and deportations, and it is all about reparations and deportations. That part. All right, go ahead, Gold. I can't see your name, family. It's on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, brother. I just want to say, man, salute to you, man, for holding us down, man. Us true foundational Black Americans, man. I want to say something else, man. I want to really get on these goddamn terrible black, so-called black politicians, man, for always trying to do everything everything under the sun to undermine foundational Black Americans. Whatever they can do and will do, they will do it to undermine us. And I'm so glad guys like you, guys like Tariq Nasheed are bringing this movement to the forefront. And like y'all always say, we are not a movement, we are a lineage, and it can't happen. But I do want to say, brother, continue the good work, and I'll land my plane there.
Appreciate that, family. Absolutely. I'm glad you would say that point. That's a good point right now. What people got to understand is that we done basically ended and destroyed a hell of a lot of people just by standing on independent FBA business. The Democrats are done for. And with them, all of the people that they've been trying to recruit above us, elevate above us, they gone. We basically and essentially, family, on election night, we ended the Democrats, we ended the Tethers, we ended everybody. That's a damn good point. Go ahead, family. It's on you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Chop it up.
Let me say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead, family.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, they want a group, and then when they say black or black and brown, they really trying to group every minority, people of color, minority, and what's the other words? Minority people of color, all these sort of terms and whatnot. That's Indians, Native Americans, people from the country of India, people from the Caribbean, everywhere. But when it's time for people to get help, they want to run to us, but they don't want to run to those same other people. But we can't fight everybody battle, and we're not gonna fight everybody battle. I am done. All these tethers, this tether class that y'all want to push above foundation of Black Americans, let them do the work. Let them do the work. Let them do the work. And it's fizzling out, because guess what? Those people from India, the Indian people from India, they not finna help nobody. Those people from the Caribbeans, they not finna help nobody. We all know it. Everybody holding their own nuts. Foundation of Black Americans had to hold our own nuts. We've been holding our own 400, 500, 600 years. So guess what? Everybody else hold theirs. I'm out.
Much respect, family. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly how it's playing out right now. What everybody has to realize and everybody's got to understand is in the United States of America right now, all of these tether people, the tether class, they all under siege. They all under siege. And I want everybody to remember exactly how these people was talking to us a year ago. Don't nobody forget none of that. A year ago, these people was in every single space out here. You had all of these tethercrats running around here, you name them. And the main thing that they was trying to tell us was we was going to get deported. By the way, family, what happened to all that we going to get deported talk? Did that last? That didn't really go nowhere, did it? Okay, that didn't land. I don't even think it took off. All right. They was running around here trying to dump that off on foundational Black Americans. We said nope. They was trying to get foundational Black Americans to these protests and to these rallies. We said nope. There ain't been a thing that any of these people have done towards us or said about us that has stuck. Nothing. And it goes back to show you foundational Black Americans. Everything goes back to what? The foundation. We are the foundation of this country. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. And right now, everybody has to accept it. And that's whether they like it or not. Let me tell you this as well. You've been seeing a lot of things going on in this country with all these other groups. And like my brother was just saying right there, notice, fam, you don't see Mexicans asking Africans to come help them. Nah, y'all was all tethers, right? Y'all the Tether coalition. Then why don't y'all go help each other? All right, you don't see the Haitians out here asking the Jamaicans, all the Caribbeans, where y'all unity at? Because y'all only got unity when you come in at FBA sideways. But outside of coming at FBA sideways, I don't really see these people. Everybody's on their little social media accounts and they begging FBA to come and save them. And it's not happening. They could say that's not what they're doing, but that's exactly what they're doing. They out there begging. And I'm out here watching it and I'm laughing. I'm laughing because they was very disrespectful when they was trying to come into this country. Y'all tell me right now, name me one element of our community that people were not out here trying to steal. You want to talk about hip hop 50-50? Oh, and by the way, how'd that work out for them? Yeah, that didn't land either. Remember when they were sitting in on our reparations panels, y'all? Yep, you don't see that no more neither. That didn't work. And then they was trying to run around here and talk about how they were the original people. They were the real natives. We done put an end to that. So all of that red Indian talk and them trying to say that they was the original Americans, that's done. They under siege. Name them. You pick the person, you pick the community. And I'm telling you right now, foundational Black Americans got their ass against the ropes. And we did it by standing on business. And that's the way you got to do it. Don't even get me started on the Democrats. The Democrats right now are essentially being prosecuted by the Republicans. So you got one political party that is prosecuting the other political party. Doesn't that tell you every single thing? That tells you everything you need to know. And the reason why it's like that, my brothers and sisters, the reason why it's like that is because simply foundational Black Americans ain't been out there saying, well, we're going to come and help you. If we was out here trying to come and help these people, they'd be running to us and they'd be getting something in return. Right now, they ain't getting a goddamn thing in return because that's the way it is. And I'm loving it. FBA's winning and all of these tethers are losing. So let me bring that all the way back to this birthright citizenship right here. That right there was the final thing that they thought they had. They was out here, fam. They was out here really trying to get with that. They thought that that was going to help them. They thought that was going to save them. They thought that was going to be their pass in. How much of a loser do you have to be to come to somebody else's homeland and try to tell them that their ancestors are really yours? How the hell can you have somebody who flies all the way over to the United States of America, ain't twisted a doorknob in this country, and then try to tell everybody, well, you know, my ancestors really created this thing? Because let's not forget, Joe Biden, who's 3,037 years old, Joe Biden was saying that we need to work with Latinos. Y'all remember that? Oh, we going down the list, man. We're going to go down the list today. Because I remember everything. I'm going to be extra petty today. I want Mr. Julio ass to come on up. You want something? I want Mr. Mutombo, because Mr. Mutombo been hiding. You ain't seen Mr. Mutombo lately, have you? Mr. Mutombo was all in our spaces. He was saying things like work hard to nigga, all that talk. I ain't seen you, because Mr. Mutombo seen that birthright citizenship, and he know right after they done clunking Julio across the head with that billy club and throwing his ass in the back of a van and dropping him off in Tijuana, your ass about to get dropped off in the Senegal. Speaking of the Senegal, y'all remember Akon? Remember Akon City in Wakanda? And his goal is to get foundational Black Americans to go back to Africa. Oh, fam, I remember everything. I remember it all. Yeah. At foundational Black Americans, we drop receipts. And you know what receipts are? Receipts mean I'm going to read this about what you said yesterday, and I'm going to clown your ass about it for the rest of the time. That's what it means. That's what the hell it means. We ain't helping you. I remember Miss Selena running her goddamn mouth. I remember she put the taco down, spit it out, picked up a burrito, and said at FBA, we need to come and help them. Now she's out there begging for our help, and foundational Black Americans saying, help your goddamn self. If you can't build your homeland, don't come running to me. I don't give a damn who you are, where you from. This country belongs to certified foundational Black Americans, and they can get mad about it all the hell they want to. You better get mad with reality. All right. You better get mad with reality, because reality has spoken, and I have spoken, and we have spoken, and we have come to the conclusion and the determination that FBA is winning and illegals are getting deported. Now, with that said, let me get to the hands. Let me send this to my brother EJ, because a space ain't a space without my brother EJ. So go ahead, my brother.
Thank you, my Black brother. It's good to see you up in here, you know, spreading the goy powder around for everybody to, you know, get their toots on up their noses. But this just goes to show you that real Black American brothers and sisters, we're always on these people's mind. They need to get to a psychiatrist or something to just pour out their problems and hearts. Like they got Tether, they got FBA syndrome. They suffering from, you know, Tether fleeing. I'm trying to think of something like the Tether fling syndrome, like the flip-flops is just flopping all over the place. And I just want to say salute to Sister Brooke, because he been giving these people the ones and twos up there in New York City. It just ain't the Master Splendors up there with do-rags trying to rob the white folks for their cheese up there in NYC. You got the real brothers and sisters up there like Brother Sage, who was on Brother Jason Black's panel last night. You know, one of them Haitian, you know, individuals had a little temper tantrum on our brother's program last night. I don't know if y'all heard it on his program last night. It's a real good listen. You know, they were suffering from Fleer's disease, such as my brother Black Alpha has been saying over the past couple of years. And I just want to say salute to you, brother. And this just goes to show you that with all these people getting deported, getting the I'm trying to think of those brothers' names who made that song back in the 80s, the sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine with the brooms. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. Just go ask one of your grandparents that song about in the 80s. You know, they had the brooms like a LeBron James sweep in the finals. But this just goes to show you that all these people trying to form their tether powers together, like the 5 elements of Captain Planet. You know, you got the fleeing syndrome, you got the divisiveness, you have the crooked hairlines, the divestment wigs, and the 5th element can be bushmeat. Once you form all those, you know, tetherist elements together, they just form into like one big super tether from like different places all across the world. And it just goes to show you that they trying to come to us now and be like, look, nigga, you was right, we was wrong, nigga. Please come help us. And I ain't been hearing from a lot of these Africans, like I said earlier in one of the spaces that you had a while ago. They still stuck in that Ubers. They ain't doing no deliveries yet. I don't have no, flyers on my Uber Eats orders and stuff. So, it's good to see them just, ducking and hiding. And this just goes to show you that we tried to tell y'all, we tried to come with y'all with the hamburger helper hand, but y'all just smacked our hands away. As long as we on code calling these people out and sticking to our ones and twos, I just want to say salute to everybody. And I'm so proud of everybody who's putting in that work out there, and not the people that are really delusional, trying to be out there, stiff arming ICE agents and getting suplexed and getting arrested for these people, because they want to do the same thing to you. If this was going on with an open floodgate of illegals coming from America, Black Americans specifically, because, when we go somewhere, we always the standard of, just being on code and just, trying to make our way in the world. Anywhere we go in these other people's countries, we gotta keep our heads on the swivel. We just can't go over there into these other people's countries acting like we running something. They got rules and regulations. And if it was an open floodgate of us going to these different countries, you think they wouldn't handle the immigration situation? They'll get down and lay down for their crown, because that's their country. You can't be coming to the US of A, the country that our people have built, and just act like a chicken with your head cut off. You can do that in, countries like Haiti, countries like Jamaica, where y'all over there fighting over KFC chicken. They just had something with the Jamaicans down there celebrating the 50th year anniversary of KFC chicken. So you out there eating the man's chicken, you out there fighting over 11 herbs and spices. Like, 50 years of y'all just, bucking and shucking and jiving for some KFC chicken. Like, as much as y'all talk about y'all cuisine down there in Jamaica, I done seen y'all fighting over the white man's chicken. Y'all out there fighting over buy one, get one free. Like, it ain't that serious. It ain't that serious to be fighting over no chicken. You got bigger and better problems like the Chinese, dirty whining and 1-2 stepping down there in those dance halls in Jamaica. You can't even go on your beaches and, your islands. So, y'all got a lot of things to go on down there besides y'all fighting over chicken. But, besides that, I'm going to land my plane and let somebody else speak. We do definitely need some more y'all Tethers to come up here and explain, these deportations, because, I'm tired of seeing y'all crying and, trying to pull out the hamburger helper hand. I might need to resurrect the Sandman from the Apollo and make sure that he can just sweep y'all ass off the stage, because, we need, real righteous brothers just to get that garbage off the stage.
My brother EJ said they out here trying to form Tethertron. God damn, it ain't working. Hell no, I can't. Go ahead, my brother Detroit. It's all on you.
Hey, what's up, fam? Hey, that group was the Williams brothers, man. Sweep around, you know what I'm saying, your own front door, man. Some old school stuff. But hey, I was highly disturbed today by looking at the joint counsel of the NAACP speaking upon getting these immigrants and tethers back into this country. And as a black man, growing up in Detroit, the NAACP was looked upon in a certain light. And in 2025, I got to say, I can't be putting my money behind any group, any organization that is not putting my people first, whether it be the Democrats, whether it be the NAACP, whether it be the Urban League. These are all things that we've heard about growing up in the community. We got to start taking our money back, as well as paying attention to who really rock with us. All these groups, they don't care nothing about us, only when they need us. And now they need us. I think they need to do a whole lot more begging. Like, they really not hurting yet, in my opinion. They not hurting. Even you got union members, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of stuff where these people are putting our money and taking our manpower and women power for the ladies and focusing on undermining us. And we all that went through the wash and rinse cycle, and we seeing everything displayed in 2025. You know who with you, you know who ain't. And if you continue to do business with anybody that is not trying to help you and your people, you need to go ahead and find a cliff somewhere and jump off of it with no parachute. And I'm gonna land my plane like that.
Shout out.
Salute to you, brother. They're going to be doing the Halo dive.
Shout out to you, family. Yeah, hey, NAACP, they know what's up for them. NAACP know what's up because their time has ran out. See, here's the thing. All these people's time is up, quite frankly, one way or another, because they're irrelevant. And they all live off of having some type of relevance in the black community. Once they don't have relevance in the black community, they all go out of business. It's the same thing with a tether. A tether needs foundational black Americans for food, for comfort, for living, for expenses. And the fact that we cut them off, we done pull that tether plug out the goddamn wall. Now they all gonna starve. All right. They try to use foundational black Americans as that same little inner tube that they float over here on. Well, guess what? That got a hole in it, so they all gonna drown. And that's what we're seeing right here today. Foundational black Americans, we can wipe out anybody who gets out of pocket with us simply just by not dealing with them. And that's where we are, and that's where we headed. And by the way, all the tethers who are out there, all the illegals, y'all know y'all would have been in this space in 2 seconds a year ago. When y'all thought y'all had Kamala collard greens in the bathtub, y'all would have been in here, ha, ha, ha. And I don't see y'all. I ain't got one request yet. And don't act like you don't be coming in these damn spaces. And that go for, again, that go for Mr. Mutombo, Mr. Joloff, Mr. Fufu, Miss Selena, Miss Ramirez, and Mr. Gomez. That go for every last one of y'all. Mr. Muhammad, you can bring your ass up here too. Okay, you can put the goat down and come on up. You can get that work. But the reason why you're not seeing any of these people, family, is the same reason why foundational black Americans is winning, because they know their time is up. You're starting to see a reshaping, a remolding, and a remodeling of the United States of America. And it is all based upon the fact that certified foundational black Americans have done for self. We stand on our own business. We ain't out here helping anybody. Them FBA EBT cards that they was getting, they done been cut off. The FBA assistance program, they've been cut off. So what you gonna do now that you gotta hold your own jollof, hold your own burritos, hold your own goat milk? You ain't got nothing? Good, because FBA run this thing. My brother Melrose, is you there, my brother?
Peace, family. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Yes, indeed. It's all on you, family.
Yeah, that's what's up. I just want to say salute to you, salute to everybody in the room. And I just want to say, highlight the fact that we did the right thing last November by not voting. Because, of course, right now we see the Democrats, they're pissed off, they're in shambles. And then also a lot of people in the Republican Party, Trump's base, as they say, a lot of people in his base, they're upset as well because they're saying he's not keeping his promise of America first and whatnot. And even though he didn't promise us anything specific, he still kept, true on his word for the most part in regards to deportations, because they are doing a lot of deportations, even though he could be doing more by locking up, the business owners that hire them. But the fact that we didn't vote and we're still getting these deportations, that's a good thing. I also heard of this new thing. I didn't look too much into it, but it sounds kind of funny. Apparently, there's a new facility where they in like the middle of a swamp surrounded by a bunch of alligators, and they're calling it Alligator Alcatraz right now. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, it's funny as hell. So that's another W I say we have. And the last thing I want to touch on, do y'all know if they're going to still continue to do green cards moving forward, or is it only the $5 million gold cards? Because if it is the $5 million gold cards, it's okay because they got money, don't they? Aren't they doing way better than us back home? So if that's the case, let's get rid of the green cards and keep the gold cards. With that said, I land my plane and everybody keep doing their thing.
Respect, family. I heard about those alligators, man. I heard about also down there in Texas with the Rio Grande. I've been hearing that there's been a lot of alligators floating around there. Now, people say that there's already been alligators, but what I've heard is that there's been a very odd amount of alligators that have been popping up. And I don't put anything past the supremacists, because foundational black Americans, we understand the system of supremacy. They don't. They want to be a part of the system of supremacy. And now they're getting a wake-up call and a rude awakening from that same system that they want to be a part of. So if they was out there dropping off the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, rest in peace, if they was dropping them off there in the waters and they was go ahead and be in ICE, I know they said that they wanted to get some new ICE agents, man, but I didn't know they was going to recruit alligators and crocodiles. God damn. Boy, these supremacists cold out here in the streets. But it is what it is, and I don't give a damn. What's up?
Man, it's me again.
Go ahead, brother.
Man, and this is the point that I really want to stress, man. I really want to stress this point. When foundational black Americans break the law, female, male, grandma, granddaddy, papa, Medea, big mama, whatever you call it, when foundational black Americans break the law, they go to jail. Folks show up at the door, banging all type of night at the door, bust the door open, kick the door down, coming through the window, shoot everybody in the house, shoot the children, shoot the old people. That hasn't been done to illegal immigrants. And whatever ICE is doing, that is still not as bad at what has happened and what is happening day to day to foundational Black Americans. ICE is taking it easy on y'all, and I want to stress this point. This is the most important point I want to make. If y'all don't get anything else, you're not going to jail. You're going home. When foundational Black Americans break the law, we're going to jail. When y'all have broken the law and entered into a whole damn country, they not taking y'all to jail. They taking y'all home. Now imagine that you commit a crime so heinous, you forgot that you in the whole goddamn country illegally, and they say, you know what? We ain't finna take you to jail. We gonna take you home. You see how you still got it good? You still got it good. But guess what? Oh my God, they're breaking up families. Man, they've been breaking up our damn families and continue to break up our families from since this country has begun. And so the point is, they're breaking up families and this and that, and bro, they've been breaking up our families since day one. They rounding y'all up with your whole family, and they just sending y'all home. And because y'all are the great builders that y'all are, y'all can just build your own homeland up. It should be real simple. Y'all builders and contractors and developers and all this, y'all can build real good, man. So guess what? Just build your own homeland. If y'all can work all together, man, bro, wherever y'all come from should look like Dubai or something. You know what I'm saying? And so my whole thing is, y'all been talking down, talking crazy to foundational Black Americans, and now y'all getting y'all wake up call. And we knew the plan all together. We know the man can't be trusted. We don't trust him. We don't trust nobody. We looking at everybody funny style. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I'ma land my plane there. Y'all ain't going to jail. Y'all going home, bro. Y'all going home. So what are y'all upset about? And I'm gonna land my plane there.
I'm gonna tell you like this, brother, because home is jail to them. Home is jail to a fleer, to a runner, to a hopper, to a skipper, to a jumper. So basically, they are going to jail because it's the same hell as being in that cell is when they got to go back to their motherlands. That's what it. That's the same reason they got their asses running here to the United States of America. Is the same reason why they petrified and terrified to go back. And a lot of them folks got them cartels waiting on them because they thought they was gonna run over here and start talking reckless about Mexico and start talking real reckless about South America. And them South American gangsters is over there waiting on them. I just seen the guy from Iran. I don't know if anybody's seen that. They done snatched up some folks from Iran, and I guess Iran so far away from my homeland, but ICE done found you and you're gonna run right on back over there. And the guy was saying, I ran from Iran because I was getting persecuted. Well, let me tell you something. That video is viral and the Iranian government's gonna see it. So they're gonna be waiting on you at the airport when you get delivered. So no, they're not in no good position at all. They're in a terrible position. They're in the position of they failed in their homelands. They failed when they come back here, and they're gonna fail when they get back to where they was coming from. And everybody's just gonna wait. Remember this, the F in FLEER stands for failure. That's what it is. These people have failed at everything, and their parents have failed, and their grandparents have failed, and their cousins are failures, and their aunts and their uncles are failures, and then they're going to have little failure children. So they're from a lineage and an offspring of failures, and we are from perseverers, and the mighty, mighty foundational Black American excellence reigns supreme over everybody. So I send a shout out to ICE. I want ICE to continue to do the job. And let me tell you this, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because what you're seeing now, more and more videos, is these folks is getting yoked up. I just seen a video the other day where ICE agent, he had that knee right up on the neck of Julio, George Floyd style. But you didn't see nobody from their community coming out making a fuss about it. Nah, because to them, quite frankly, when folks run up on illegals, it's basically like daddy giving you a spanking. They don't view it like FBA does. You understand? Because we certified and we looking at the system of supremacy and we like, hold up, we not y'all, y'all not us. So we check them. All of these illegals, and that go for all of them. That go for Iran, that go for Africans, that go for Jamaicans and Haitians and Mexicans. They all look at it as daddy's giving me a spanking. That's why they're really upset. They're having temper tantrums because they want it to be white. They wanted to be white, and they told each other that they're white, and they convinced themselves that the person in the mirror was white. You know, when you look in a puddle and you see your reflection, they look into a puddle and they think that a white person is looking back up at them. That's really what they think. And now the fact that they getting sent back to where they come from, that right there is confirmation that you're not white, and that is also confirmation that you failed again. So you failed at failing. How much of a loser can you be in life that you failed at failing? You lost at losing. That is as bad as it gets. So it's clear these people are nowhere near certified foundational Black Americans, and it's clear they are about to go home. And it's also clear that Donald Trump and ICE and the 700 Marines and the National Guard and Jethro and all these militia groups, they're about to up the ante. So what you see right now and what you end up seeing, say, towards the end of this summer, it's going to get worse for them. I'm starting to see a lot more brutality. We're getting ICE brutality, all right, on them people. And guess what I'm going to do when you see ICE on all these illegals? I'm going to do the same exact thing that they did when there was police brutality against Black folks. I'm going to sit this one out. But let's go ahead and spin this around. Go ahead, Don Wick.
Hey, what's going on, brother? A powerful space. I couldn't agree with you more. Seeing how all of this stuff is unraveling in real time, it lets you know that we on the right side of history. And you know, we've been saying in these spaces, man. These melanated folks, they've had well over a century to get on code with Black Americans. They laughed at us, they sabotaged us, they did everything in their power as a collective to not team up with us. And my thing is this: we can only tell y'all how America is, but for so long before y'all actually have to feel it. And they're definitely feeling it. And the only thing I want to say to Black Americans is keep up the pressure. Don't feel sorry for them. I don't care how bad it gets for them. Do not feel sorry for them, because the moment you show mercy and start going on the front lines and trying to save people, they're gonna switch up on you and they're gonna act as though you're not their ally, and they're gonna get back on code with white folks. Because that's really what this is about. Like the brother said, it's a temper tantrum. They throughout all of this, they still don't see white America the same way that we do. They just look at it like, oh my God, this is an unfortunate situation. They still not ready to ride up against this supremacy. So they gotta hold their own nuts, and we gotta continue to do us. Let them continue to feel this thing, and when it gets bad, when it really gets bad for them, do not step in, because the deportations are definitely happening, right? But what we're gonna start seeing, them getting taken out of here in droves. Remember, it hasn't even been a full month yet since this shit really kicked off like that. I know you hear little sprinkles here and there, but this ain't really kicked off yet the way that it's supposed to. What's really gonna start for people heads up is when the Department of Justice stops being hoes and starts going after these CEOs of these companies that are employing these illegal immigrants. When pressure starts getting put on them, we're gonna start seeing these people get rounded up, not by the dozens or the hundreds, but by the thousands in a lot of these states. So keep the pressure on. Don't show no mercy, and we're gonna be okay.
That's a damn good point my brother made right there. Let's frame what my brother just said, okay? We talking about 6 months of the Donald Trump administration. 6 months, family. And the borders have been essentially closed. You've had the lowest amount of people coming in. You've seen mass deportation, so a hell of a lot of them are going out. And then the birthright citizenship thing that just came down here the other day. You're dealing with right now a complete reversal of where we were a year ago. A year ago, you're talking about 22 to 28 million illegals. I heard it's 30 million that came in over a 4-year span. And now a lot of that is being eradicated. And also what I know, like my brother was just saying, we understand the way these W's operate. So if anybody out there doesn't think they're doing a lot of things behind closed doors, they shaking a lot of hands, exchanging some briefcases, and they making some deals. And those deals are going to be to come down a lot harder on all of these illegals, no matter where you're from, and to the point where these people are going to be out here in these streets getting snatched up. And you already see it now with the ICE agents hopping out. And I believe that the bounty hunter programs are going to be in full swing and full effect. Today and going forward is the worst time to be an illegal in the United States of America. And it's a great day to be a foundational Black American. It's a very, very great day. So I have no feelings, no nothing for any of these people. You unlawfully entered my country. You were very disrespectful to us. And now you got to go ahead and get your ABK, anti-Black karma. And speaking of anti-Black karma, let me add this to the whole fray right now as well. When you see all of these people getting snatched up and deported and these homes being broken. These homes were broken as soon as they came here to the United States of America, because we've discussed this on the Black Alpha Network. Most of the time when you see these mothers with these kids, those kids aren't even theirs. Those kids aren't even theirs. They actually did DNA tests. And what you come to find out is that these mothers who have these babies, those babies are not even relatives. They ain't even goddamn neighbors. Okay, so don't believe none of these little stories where you got little Julio and little Pedro crying, talking about mama and papa. What they're really saying is mama and papa are back home in Mexico, and I don't know who the hell this person is right here, because they be passing their babies off to cartel members. I have heard reports down at the border where you have seen babies get passed off 6 to 7 different times. Okay, so I don't want to hear about mothers. And by the way, who's a worse mother than an illegal mother? I mean, goddamn, illegal mother. I think that disqualifies you for being the mother of the year. All right. And that's without even stating the 6 or 7 times these babies have been passed off. I mean, if you're walking your kid through a desert, past cartel members, you're jumping over rattlesnakes, you're jumping over scorpions, you're swimming through rivers that I'm hearing now got alligators in them left and right. I don't think that's a good mom. So there will be no tears from foundational Black Americans when they try to point to the kids and say, oh, look what they're doing to the children. No, look what Miss Gomez did to the children. Look what Miss Ramirez did to the children. Look what Miss Salinas did to the children. Once you get all that in order, then you come talk to me. And also at the same time, they've been out here snatching our kids up left and right, because there's always been a warfare on young foundational Black American kids. So don't let me get started on that side of the fence, because that's a whole nother topic. So if hold your own nuts number 3036 is in full effect, well, then that's number 3037, family. But let's keep the hands going. My brother from Detroit, you in the building? What up, though?
What up, though? What up, though? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, indeed. Floyd is yours, family.
Oh, man, check this out. Shout out to you and everybody in the space and everything. I'm learning my Twitter etiquette now, you know, after my 20th page, so I'm going to calm down. I realize it's like Facebook. I'm going to tell you, like, I agree with everything y'all talking about. You know, we got the win. Like, you notice how they always pull up the negative, right? The negative. You Black Americans on welfare. What? Stop it. You Black Americans on work. What? You need to go look at GM Ford and Chrysler. And this 200,000 Black folks making 150,000 a year. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? So they always try to put the negative out, but the positive still going on. Like I'm on Twitter and you see all these boys with showing, oh, Letitia out fighting in a goddamn restaurant, or what do we do about these animals? Blah blah blah. But fuck it, we just graduated 5 million Black kids this year. You know what I'm saying? We got the NIL deal where they paying our Black kids to play ball now. All from football all the way down to tennis. That little young Black girl just got a $1.4 million deal in college for a softball player. You know what I'm saying? We've been winning out here. You know what I'm saying? And America knows that. The Americans know that. They know this our country. They know we're a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? It's called a currency. You know what I'm saying? The money is current. You know what I'm saying? That's the slave labor. That's the transfer of dollars. Their goal is to catch the most amount of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So we got it right now, and basically our youth is up next. We're going to lead the way for our youth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where y'all from, but if you notice, all the little young kids under 35 act the same now. They all about getting their money. They all about buying cribs. They all about doing crypto. They ain't no drug dealing generation like my generation was. You know what I'm saying? Especially the 90s in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So these young kids, they different now. You know what I'm saying? They the reset. Like America, we gonna reset. We gonna reset. You know what I'm saying? You could pick all these kids up like our old folks, right? Now, I'm 49. My mother and dad and them in their 80s. You know, my granddaddy would have been alive. He would have been 100 something. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at the 80s to 100-year-olds from state to state, they all act the same. Our 70 babies came along with the East Coast, West Coast, blood, crip, light skin, you know what I'm saying, with that dumb ignorant, you know what I'm saying, division within. Then the crime, then the crack, then the jails, and blah, 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 right? But now look at these little young kids, though. They going to school, dog. They being doctors. It's sexy to be smart now for these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no slave labor no more. Our kids ain't going to be working for their kids. That's the beef. The beef is white supremacy. Supremacy is having something you want, and they say you can't get it. Now our kids, now we're like, we don't even want y'all. Go ahead. I'm gonna go eat at my restaurant. I'm cool. I'm gonna go get insurance from my Black insurance company. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So we good. We good. That's all I gotta say. We good. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the positive. Focus on the positive out here. You know what I'm saying? And one more thing. you know what I'm saying, they looking at us like we don't belong in our city. I'm like, you better look around. Get all them boats out you see out there, them black folks. All these apartments right here, these big ass $1 million apartments, these black folks. You ain't taking our shit. I don't know what y'all doing in fucking Saskatchewan, but in the D, you better get the fuck on, bitch. You get sat with a stack up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it. All in my plane, okay?
Respect, family. Yes, indeed. Let me go ahead and add to what my brother just said. I want y'all to see the future of our youngins, and I want you to see the future of theirs. The anchor babies is over. Somebody on my channel the other day, they called them tether toddlers. I love that. So these goddamn toddler tethers and these anchor babies is over with. No longer can you come to the United States of America. You got about 2 weeks left of your pregnancy, and you just drop a baby off at a goddamn hotel room, okay? And then it's an American. People don't understand that birthright citizenship, that's a very, very fundamental thing, and it goes right along with delineation. And a lot of people gonna come out here and they're gonna say, well, you know, Donald Trump ain't really gonna do that. This ain't really gonna work. All of these little courts out there that have been trying to fight and trying to stop what Donald Trump has been trying to implement, that is the only thing that the Democrats have. Democrats have no power, all right? Democrats have nothing. When we say that we ruin the Democratic Party, we ruin them. Let me go ahead and tell everybody what's happened to the Democrats just since November when foundational Black Americans sat on the couch. Democrats are out here being prosecuted by the Republicans. Now, I've never in my life seen one political party prosecute the other. Never seen it before. And it's all because foundational Black Americans have no cape to come on and say, leave them alone now. You leave them good Democrats alone. We saying, go ahead and get them. If you want them, I don't give a damn. Go ahead. You just seen what happened with Jasmine Crockett the other day. All right. She thought she was going to come up in the ranks and they basically denied her. So the Democrats threw her under the bus. That ain't working for them. You seen all of those Democrats that try to have that little insurrection and run up in the ICE facility. You got charges all up on them. They have no future. You want to start about Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass? They ain't got no goddamn future neither. Joe Biden, I told you, he's 1 billion years old. Kamala Harris is gone. Now what do the Democrats really have? They have nothing. They got to resort to stunts. They got to go out there in the damn streets and get arrested for illegals. They got to come up with all these little judges. So when the judges get removed, and it's basically saying when Donald Trump says no more birthright citizenship for little Julio, that's pretty much as solid as you're going to get. And that's a good thing for us. And it goes right along with delineation and separation. And I've been saying it for the longest. Okay, well, a lot of people just saying delineation, they stop there. I've been saying delineation, separation, that gets you reparations, because reparations is all in the fold. In order to get your reparations, you got to have your identity airtight. And this right here basically put a blockade and a hurdle in front of everybody who wanted to be a part of our lineage. Because remember, the Democrats basically said every single human being on the earth is a Black American. Basically is what the Democrats said. And it's crazy that Donald Trump, a MAGA Republican, came out and reiterated, 11 times in his press conference the other day? He just kept saying, babies and slaves, and the babies and slaves, and the babies and slaves. He kept saying that over and over and over. He said that more times in a small press conference than I've ever heard any Democrat ever say that. So that goes to show you as well. These people know what it is. They know who runs a yard. They know foundational Black Americans set the precedents, and they know it goes all the way up to the president. And that's the way we're going to keep this whole goddamn thing running. FBA winning, fam, and everybody else is getting deported. Adios, amigos.
Sunday, Sunday, baby, what the deal is? Check it out. I want to do a thing I'm talking about now is all them damn Africans that came up in there and made themselves the center of attention whenever the damn conversation would come on. You remember the infamous 2020s that lasted, 3 days? The initial thing I think they was talking about in this was about the Mexicans or the Spanish people coming over, immigrating, and the goddamn Nigerians and them damn Somalis came in that thing. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You must always mad at us as Africans. What is all of this hate? Now they're getting their goddamn hate back. Remember all that shit they talk? Yeah, we here now, nigga. We here now, nigga. Okay. Your ass finna go now, too, nigga. Now get your ass on that giraffe and swim your ass back across the Pacific. You dig? We sitting here. I worked with a bunch of them in Powder Springs. I had to get a couple of them straight. And if you're in Georgia, you know what Powder Springs is. I worked with a bunch of them from the warehouse. One of them tried to check me one day. He moved around. They don't get it. Fuckers, they can't fearmonger us into helping them. The senoritas, the senoras, y'all get y'all goddamn spirit guns out his asses on back to the border, because it's finna happen. Yeah, yeah. And like I told EJ them the other day, look like this housing shortage that we have, that's about to stop. Because there's going to be a lot of houses going up for sale, because there's going to be a lot of essays moving out. And there's going to be a lot of Africans losing their shit. And I'm gonna be a hat fucker because I'm putting that bank back so I can give me a 5-bedroom for like 250. Cause these motherfuckers finna be gone. And I'm happy as hell about this. Africans, I want y'all to understand something. We can we can tell what y'all are without even asking y'all where y'all from, just by the way y'all talk to a woman or the way y'all cut people off when they talking. You fuckers don't know nothing about etiquette. You don't know nothing about patience. You don't know nothing about goddamn respect. And that's why we don't fuck with y'all. I'm out, Alpha. Be easy, baby.
Shout out to you, brother. Shout the hell out to you, family. And I remember all of those spaces. I remember them all. See, that was early in the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden world when they thought they had everything mapped out for them. You absolutely right, brother. We was giving them that work. And man, how the tide has turned now. That same tide that they floated into America on, they're going to float right the hell on back out. And I love it. No type of remorse for any of these people because, again, the worst thing that you could ever do is come to somebody's homeland and disrespect them. That's the worst thing. And then they want to disrespect us, and then they want to side with the oppressor, the same person who oppresses them in their homeland. And let me say this, because this has been something that's been bothering me. Let me say this, family. Don't let none of these tethers, no matter who they are, the TOCs, the tethers of color, don't let none of these people run around here and try to say how they are separating us and how supremacy is all of our problem. Y'all never had an issue with supremacy before, so don't try to use white supremacy as some type of excuse to get us to save y'all. The same person who was flying all the way over here and wanting to be next to the white supremacists is the same one trying to tell us how supremacy is keeping us all divided. No, you have always wanted to be a supremacist. You've always enacted, regurgitated, and mimicked white supremacist talking points. Most of y'all bleach your own goddamn skin. So don't use supremacy as some type of lecturing tactic where you want FBA to say, yeah, I don't like supremacy neither, so I guess we all are friends, brother. Hell no, we ain't. We ain't friends, we ain't buddies, we ain't pals, we ain't allies. We certified foundational Black Americans, and you can be whatever the hell you are. Go ahead, you pick your own name. I know you flee, I know you run. That's what you can be. And half the time when you come over here and you want to snuggle up next to the dominant society and supremacists, them same white supremacists that you run here to America to be next to is the same exact supremacist that is colonizing your homeland. So how the hell do you go to the belly of the beast to get away from the beast? Family, that'd be like somebody robbing me across the street, and to get away from them, I run across the street to their house. You don't give a damn about the colonizer because you want to be next to the colonizer because you think you are the colonizer. You wake up every single day, drop on your ashy ass kneecaps, and you look up to the sky and you praise and pray to the colonizer. So don't come over here trying to lecture foundational Black America about a supremacy that you subscribe to, because we've been the only ones who fight it. See, what they do, family, they know we're the only people who fight supremacy. We're the only people who do not rock with supremacy. And they try to use our resistance to supremacy as some type of catalyst and some type of reverse psychology to get us to start fighting for them. Hell no. We know exactly who the supremacists are, and we know exactly who their puppets and their minions are. And 99.9% of every single person who comes to this country is a puppet or minion of supremacy. That is what it is historically. You can look at all the facts and all the data, and you can see whether you are in Africa, you're in the Caribbean, you're in South America, all these people want to be white folks more than white folks want to be white folks. And they think they're going to come over here, come down on us, so they can get some type of brownie points. And we've been saying you, and you, all y'all is over there on team supremacy. So I'm gonna allow team supremacy to deport you back to your homeland. You ain't gotta like it, you ain't gotta love it, but you better respect it because you damn sure can't check it. Go ahead, Don Wick.
What you said made me think of something. I think that a lot of this also has to do with their level of perception of us. Remember, a lot of these people, whether it be Africans or Asians or whoever, a lot of them get their idea of what and who Black Americans are through TV. And I think that a lot of these people think that I think they think Roots is current. They haven't seen Django yet. You know, a lot of these movies and shows that they don't watch got them thinking that we are still slaves and that we are still willing to succumb to being subservient to other people, bro. We not your mules. We not your slaves and none of that shit. Y'all better upgrade your filmology, your filmography. I meant y'all better do something because they got it so twisted, bro. Like it's crazy. I just saw a video of this lady. She crying because they stopped her at the airport and getting ready to send her ass back home. But some people did their due diligence within the lineage and found out her Twitter handle, and she got, videos and tweets calling Black Americans Akatas. So these people are getting a rude awakening. And again, if they would have listened to us 100 years ago, they wouldn't be in this position. If they would have listened to us 50 years ago, they wouldn't be in this position. But the sad truth is they never thought a day of reckoning would come. They never thought it would come, and it's here now. And like you said, this is only 6 months. And this is how weak these people is. That's how you know we're not the same, bro. We've been dealing with these for a half of a millennium, and we still the shit. These people can't last 6 months. I don't even want to ally with nobody that weak. I'm sorry. Listen, bro. I don't want to ally with nobody that weak, bro. We're a lineage of old dogs. We don't need no Ezels. I land.
Hey, straight up, good point, family. I thought these people said that they built America. I thought these people said that they built every single thing that we created. I don't see no strength in these people because they out here crying over deportation. I see grown men crying tears over deportation. These ain't these hard-body ass people that they've been telling us they were. See, look at foundational Black Americans. Look what we go through. You can go all the way down to our children, or you can go all the way up to our grandparents. We're out here dealing with every form of atrocity that you can possibly imagine, and we don't shed one goddamn tear. Julio get told that ICE is on his way, and this motherfucker start crying for a whole day. Upset, on the ground, falling. Y'all notice, by the way, too, they've been having these like videos where they have these fake temper tantrums where they'll like fall on the ground. I seen a woman acting like she was having a seizure. She literally acted like she was having a seizure. These people are scared. And every single thing that they've been perpetrating about being the strongest people and built this, we've been telling everybody, how the hell are you going to be strong in America when you left your homeland to come to America? Somebody who leaves their homeland, understand, it's not just the land you leaving. You leaving mom, dad, grandma, culture, language, existence. You're leaving hundreds of thousands of years of being where you're from, all to come over here and be next to the dominant society. And then when ICE pull up, you hit the ground and have a fake seizure. These people are weak as hell. We told everybody they're weak as hell. And now the world is starting to see it. I don't see these strong, mighty people. What I see are a bunch of fleers who are now being exposed on the grand stage of the United States of America as the losers that they were when they got here. And they're going to be losers when they leave here.
What's up, brothers? Man, y'all over here doing them roast sessions, man. It's hilarious, man. I'm loving the FBA energy, man. And I love that we are on code like we should have been from day one, man. I'm so happy we on code and we delineating. And they are getting up out of here, man. I'm glad. I told other Black folks, man, I was letting them know, I said, y'all better be thanking God for young Donald Trump in there right now. I said, you ain't got to agree with everything, but we all on code with this one. Get these immigrants up out of here, all of them. Just clean house for us. Because I seen a lot of brothers dropping videos talking about how they're happy that now they can do jobs now. Now jobs is opening up. Homes is opening up for people to buy. So the market is dropping. See, people don't even understand how much this delineation and this deportation situation that's going on right now is so much beneficial for the FBA community. So I want to say thank you, brother, for letting me on, and I'm Alain.
Appreciate that, brother. That's a good point. That's a great point, actually. The main things that was going around during the election, and since, we're going down memory lane a little bit, let me go ahead and say something that I know everybody in here remembers. Remember when Donald Trump went to that Black media conference and he said illegals were taking Black jobs? And all the Democrats were sitting there looking like they didn't understand what that mean. What's a Black job? They knew exactly what it was. They were just trying to play stupid and pivot. Now, what do you see? Immediately, as soon as deportations have started, you're starting to see Black Americans pop up in all of these places getting those jobs. So it shows you again that they were just trying to hustle us from the giddy up. They were trying to play these games and make excuses to try to allow these people to come into the country and to benefit off of the backs of FBA. Donald Trump said it. He said, hey, these people are taking Black jobs. And now immediately I've already seen brothers and sisters on construction sites. I've seen the young little brothers got the vendors popping off. That's the video that's going around right now. A lot of people are watching it. And those are just the ones that are seen on social media, not to mention the ones that are going on where the cameras are not rolling. It's just happening. So those job opportunities are popping up, and I support every single foundational Black American that wants to go out there and get them, dollar bills, because we invented the hustle, and make sure that you go ahead and get your money now that these people have disappeared. The housing market, like my brother Ro was saying earlier, going to pop up. You're seeing a lot of things going on when you remove people. See, you got to understand, when you have 30 million illegal people that are just in the last 4 years. So you got to remember, that's about 28 to 30 million people who are illegal in the last 4 years, not to mention the millions that were already illegal. Okay, that's just 4 years. And then not to mention all the other people who came here. So you're talking about hundreds of millions of illegal people here in the United States of America that are gone, that are finito, adios. And now foundational Black Americans can get that. Another thing that's been going on right now that a lot of people are talking about, and I want everybody to examine this term because you're going to start to see this term more frequently, and it's called labor trafficking. And you're already starting to see people from the Donald Trump administration come out and start throwing that term around. And what that term really alludes to is people who are coming over here, obviously, like we've all said, that are getting jobs, and these employers are hiring them. They're going to start putting these labor trafficking laws against these people, and they're going to start bringing them to justice, because we've all been saying for the longest amount of time that you have people who come to the United States of America unlawfully, and they come over here and do all types of things, but it's the people who hire them, that employ them, that is making this continue to go on. And I'll say this, I've actually seen more activity with the Donald Trump administration on actually stopping that, because that was a serious question mark that a lot of people had was, okay, you're going to get rid of Julio, who's a little dust ball, but are you going to stop and go after these employers? And now you're starting to see that slowly come about. Another thing with the people that were coming over here from China that were getting a lot of those degrees and going to these colleges. You seen that? They snatching them up. Okay. And a lot of people say he wasn't going to do that either. And that has been happening. Okay. Because when you start talking about mass deportations and you start talking about getting people out of the United States of America, everybody across the board was witnessing that. And everybody, when it came to election day, basically agreed on it. And the worst thing that ever happened to the illegals was that Donald Trump seen that he can win an election based off of deportations. That's what it is. When he won that election, which was by a landslide, that basically let everybody know that, damn, hold on now, we can win based on deporting these people. It's no longer a boogeyman word. It's no longer going to lose you an election. It's going to win you an election. And that was picture perfect for us as foundational Black Americans, the people who are the most ill affected by illegal immigration. Now we sitting back looking at that situation and saying, okay, well, cool. You're going to send these people back home. You're going to get these people the hell up out the country. Perfect. And that's why we played ourselves into position and said we're going to either sit on the couch and watch the Democratic plantation burn all the way down, or foundational Black Americans is going to let it be known you're going to have to come to the table with something that benefits us, because the days of doing things blindly are done. So you starting to see the labor trafficking pop up. You've seen a lot of those agents that were coming over here. And remember now, they were getting anti-hate crime bills based on blaming us for what the man did to them. I didn't forget that either. Okay. I got a big ass notebook and it's got about 1,000 pages, and it's got every single op who came here over the last few years that was disrespecting FBA. And all of these people had anti-FBA vitriol, and the majority of these people came from homelands that were not here. So that right there, they're getting snatched up. You've seen a lot of things going on with these visas. Everywhere you turn and everywhere you look, you're seeing immigrants are getting deported. Okay. And all of that stuff about we were going to get deported, nobody believed you when you was trying to say that stuff. Democrats, liberals, nobody believed it. Nobody was hearing it. Nobody was going for it. So now the fact that they are getting deported and we sitting here watching it, that's got everybody mad. We have what's coveted the most on the planet. People will fly all across the planet to get here to the United States of America. People will risk their life and limbs to get here to the United States of America. And we woke up every single day from the United States of America, and it burns them, the fact that they can't have what we have naturally. Okay. Well, we have naturally, we are the indigenous, the natives, the foundationals, whatever you say, just make sure you put number one on it. Okay. And that is why we are succeeding, why they have been fleeing. And now it's a beautiful day to be FBA. And when you certified all the time. I see you. Go ahead, my brother EJ.
I'm glad you said that too about, us not being able to be deported, because they always use that as a scapegoat for them to for them to look themselves in the mirror without the glass breaking, because this is the point that we are saying place, and it just goes to show you that they use that you going to be deported like me too, you coming back to Nigeria like me too. Man, if I ever go to a place like Nigeria, they'll know that I'm a Black American. My hairline is not the same as the equivalent of a Choco Taco, so they'll already know that I'm not even part of their homeland, let alone their village. But this just goes to show you that they try to use situations like this and try to keep us off balance. And as you can see in the Jumbotron, I have an example of somebody being deported too. Jane Eugene from the group Loose Ends. He's been detained by ICE. Just because you are celebrity status don't mean that you can't get deported. And I like Loose Ends music, but this just goes to show you that these deportations ain't playing with y'all. Ilhan Omar, they trying to get her to be deported back to Somalia. So, I think that'd be a really good thing for her allegedly trying to, marry her brother to stay in America or something. But that's besides the point. Somalia definitely needs you. You could be over there stopping the pirates from, robbing boats from French people. But she's over here talking about Black Americans don't need this and Black Americans don't need that. This is the problem. You got these people in these political positions, and while Trump is in office, you got to get enough of these mothers out of the office and out of these political positions as possible, because they don't do shit. They can't do nothing in their homeland, and they definitely can't do nothing in the United States of America. Each and every one of us who have a decent high school education can be in these political positions. You don't even got to be smarter than a fifth grader. The way they make stuff harder than what it needs to be when it comes to the American political system. I mean, Sister Brooks, she can be in a political position. We know Black African definitely be in a political position. Queen Alpha, Black Truth United, everybody up here who passed the second grade can be in a political position right about now when it comes to these people. They don't do anything except just babble and just tether all over the place and just try to tell us what we can and can't do. So you out here talking about, these deportations and want to be out here fighting for these illegal aliens, but you can't do the same thing for your people in your homeland. So if you're going to be a true Somalian, a true Nigerian, a true whatever, coming from a foreign country, waving your flags, I want to see you be about that life in your homeland instead of just crying like just on these Twitter spaces. I haven't heard anybody come up here and try to just, who try to just counter what we've been saying on this whole entire Twitter space. I need y'all to come down there from the trash bin and just, come up here and just try to say something about this. The birthright citizenship should have ended a long time ago. Just because if I go to a foreign country, they ain't gonna give me birthright citizenship to their homeland. There's different situations and different steps you have to take to be a citizen in that homeland. Just because if I live in China don't make me Chinese, or if I live in Japan don't make me Japanese. They know I'm Black American. They know by the way I walk. Or Black American man number one. With that being said, I'm going to land my plane once again.
My brother, all day. It has been very quiet on the Tether front. I mean, Juneteenth just passed, and I could have swore I seen them have a hell of a lot of things to say about Juneteenth. Where's all of that Juneteenth really belongs to the Caribbean energy? Because I don't see that ever since the birthright citizenship thing done came down. I don't see that nowhere. What about all the Juneteenth belongs to the Africans? I don't see that energy there. What about Mexico saved us from slavery? What about that? I don't see any of that. It's been very quiet on the Tether front. And that goes to show everybody confirmation that 2025 is the end of the Tether. That's really what it is. And to be honest with you, they never really got off the ground, if we can really go there and be true. Everything foundational Black Americans said about these people has came to fruition. We said that these people was dusty, they're dusty. We said that time was going to be up and they was going to have to go back home. Now time is up and they're going back home. And we said all of that loud talk will turn into quiet talk as soon as Donald Trump became the president of the United States of America. And voila, here it is. Let me ask this to everybody right now, and I mean this. This is a certified question. Do you hear Tethers talking bad about FBA more, or do you see videos of their asses getting arrested and deported more? Compare what you hear them saying about us to the videos you see with them in ICE and tell me which one you see more of. Because 2024, it was them talking crazy. Now, 2025, it's them getting snatched. So you're seeing the reversal. You're seeing the change. And I mean, everybody knows that they are going back to their homeland, even though they don't want to go. And foundational Black Americans is watching it proceed. Detroit, I see you. Go ahead, family.
Hey, yeah, bro. Hey, look, man, I remember us being lazy. We drug dealers, we worthless, we're criminals, we're thieves, we're slow. So if we were all that, why y'all want us to get on y'all campaign now? If we was everything negative, that when y'all come over here, that y'all tell y'all people to separate from us, why y'all want us to campaign? Why y'all want us to march with y'all? It makes no sense. And it just made me think about something that I was told when I was a little kid by my grandfather. It was like, boy, don't ever bite the hand that feeds you. Don't you ever bite the hand that feeds you. And they must have forgot, man, 400 years of, man, the stuff that I probably can't even think of, man, that our ancestors didn't endured. We didn't evolved. We didn't adapted. We didn't fought. We done fought even for the people that we know that can't stand us, but I'll be damned if y'all come over here and try to do something to us. So this has been our land through blood, sweat, generations. And I'll be damned if y'all came over here from a loophole that existed and y'all try to make it seem like y'all better than us. And for the people that don't understand the difference between you and them, if you live in the North, come about September, October, and you see somebody wearing fucking flip-flops on and they feet ashy than a fucker, just know that they ain't you and you ain't them. And I'ma land my plane.
Why are you talking about my ashy ass flip flops? Why did you do that, brother? You know I'm still hiding in my Uber.
Y'all crazy, boy. They probably mad right now, man. They throwing Joel off at the phone and everything, family.
They punch in the air. They punch in the air like Trey off Boys in the Hood. I can't stand that black Afro that's in there.
We winning right now. This what winning look like. This what winning feel like, family. And one thing I'm always doing, Black Alpha, I'm always celebrating our victories. Always. Because we got a whole world of people who can't stand us. Good. We don't like you neither. Cool. Go ahead. But guarantee one thing, we going to be winning. Y'all going to be mad. Let me add this to the fray, though, family, while I got the brothers and sisters up in here. Let me go ahead and make this point that nobody's really talking about, but it's something that is very, very, very important. When you deal with all of these people who've been coming here to the United States of America, all these folks got something to say. They always trying to chime in on what Black Americans got going on and how these people are a part of us and how supremacy is so bad. That's what they use. Remember, they never say nothing about supremacy until they need us to go to their rallies and marches. Let me ask y'all, how many times have you seen an Asians against supremacy rally that didn't include Black Americans? Name me a time you've seen Mexicans against supremacy that didn't include us. Africans, Jamaicans, and Haitians. How come every time they say something about supremacy, they always want to include us? Why don't you have your own rally against it? Mexicans right now could have Mexicans against supremacy, and they can go out and rally and protest today. You don't need us. How come every anti-supremacy march, rally, or protest always has to have Black Americans leading it? How come it's always something we started and then they joined in? See, they think it's a flex to say we marched with you for the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor protest. We marched with you during the civil rights era. You notice it's always with you. How come you don't do it by yourself? You said that you don't like supremacy. You said you've been in America so long. Then how come Mexicans right now, today, aren't in the streets having a Mexicans against supremacy protest that does not include us? So you want to come to our rallies, and then you want us to come and save your little bootleg rallies. You know why? It's because they want to be supremacists. They think they are supremacists, and they're upset because they're getting their white supremacist wake-up call. Don't let none of these groups who ain't ever did a damn thing against supremacy try to tell you how they're so anti-supremacy. No, the hell they're not. This is the United States of America, right? We just sat here and said that there's millions of illegals here, not to mention the legals who come here. How come all of them don't get together right now as we speak and have their own marches against supremacy? Why we always got to lead? Why we always got to have it popping? How come we're the ones always fighting supremacy? They can easily have their own. You don't need me. You don't want to have nothing to do with foundational Black Americans any other time. How come you don't want nothing to do with foundational Black Americans every single day, 365 days in a year? But now, when you want to have a rally and protest, we your best friends. Now you want to talk about an allyship that don't exist. You want to talk about a coalition that never was. Get off the couch, put the burrito down, and you go have your own rally against supremacy. Quit coming to the ones that we lead. Quit trying to get us to come to yours, because yours isn't really about white supremacy, is it? It ain't really about white supremacy now, is it, Pedro? What yours really is that you want to stay here in America and eat off my plate. And you're using white supremacy as some type of fake catalyst to get foundational black Americans to allow your ass another 6 months here in the United States of America. That TPS, Tether Protection Service, cut off. You ain't got nothing no more. That's what it is. That's the time it is. Don't let none of these people who've been watching us be the only human beings on the planet. We say supremacy is global, right? How come only one lineage ever fights it? Not a whole nother race of people, not a whole nother continent of people. No villages fight it, no countries fight it, no provinces fight it, no armies fight it. There's only one lineage that fights global supremacy, and that's us. So if that's the case, then us is going to sit on the couch back to your homeland. I have exorcised the demons. Go ahead, Black Truth United.
But salute to the room, Brother Black Alpha, Queen Alpha, Brother EJ, Rose City, Macau, all the others who are here in the space. Yeah, I thought we were powerless, Black Alpha. I thought we were.
I thought we was powerless.
Powerless, nigga. I'm going to the government. They're the strong ones. Why would I listen to you? They thought they knew everything, and they're falling on their own sword. They told us Kamala's gonna win. They told us there's no way Trump is gonna win, and when he did win, they told us, "Oh, he can't do nothing, nigga." Yeah, all this talk is coming back to bite them in the ass.
It was the Russians that helped. It was Putin that.
Putin did it. Yeah, but look at all these things that they were telling us. They were telling us we can't get rid of them. They were telling us, hey, I was born here, all this kind of stuff, all that kind of stuff. Hey, the records have been written, and we're realizing all these things that Trump is doing is setting a precedent. He's rolling back all these weird protections and laws that were in place that were meant to undermine us, that were meant to pretty much swarm us with enemies, people who were openly and in some cases secretly against us, plotting how to destroy us politically, how to build businesses in our areas and sabotage what we had going on, take over our jobs, all that kind of stuff. And so their plans are now being undone. And this is a great thing. So yeah, before they were talking about, hey, I'm getting your reparations too. Remember that? I haven't forgotten that. I was born here. I'm black too, nigga. I'm getting some of those. All that kind of stuff is coming back to bite you in the ass. I bet they won't show up at those reparation meetings now. Talking about, nigga, I'm getting some too. Oh, were you born here? Oh, okay. You were. Oh, okay.
I was born in Nigeria in 1922 under the village of Wakusu Wufu. My mother told me that I was that nip when I was born, brother.
And both of your parents aren't from here. Oh, okay. Let me write this down. And your name is? Okay. And where do you work? Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Write all this stuff down, because I'm telling you, these things are getting reversed, and pretty soon more and more of these protections are going to be rolled back, and we're going to be able to start getting some of these other tethers out of our midst. And I'm not just talking about the deeply melanated tethers. I'm talking about all of them. Got to get all of them out. And now, you know, what they're trying to do is trying to tug on our heartstrings. What would MLK do? I'm loving this, man. And that's why I encourage people, look through Brother Black Alpha's archives. I put his channel link in the Jumbotron. Should be, if you scroll through the Jumbotron, you should be able to find it. But I liked how early with your broadcast, you were giving out pretty much the game. You were showing us, hey, it's not the black and brown coalition, it's the black and brown no-alition. We fixed the language. It's not White and Luther King. It's Martin Luther King. It's FBA always wins, and we win by a knockout. You were correcting that language for us. And so I definitely tip my hat, salute to you. You know, tactics change over time. Even MLK, while he was on the earth, started changing his tactics. He started realizing, hey, you know, I've integrated my people into a burning house. He was starting to talk about reparations. He was starting to talk about the different strategies that he would be willing to employ. Strategies don't, you know, just eternally get used. We have to adapt and move with the times. We have to fight supremacy using modern tactics. So it's great that we corrected those things. And I will say that one of our main tactics now will be to use ICE to get these tethers out of our midst. So again, I put ICE in the Jumbotron. The number is 866-347-2423. That's 866-347-2423. Sometimes their phone lines are down, so you have to go to their website. It's very easy to look up, ice.gov. So I just wanted to leave that information. Thanks for the space, and peace to the family.
Much respect, family. Y'all remember, don't delay. Call quick today so you can get rid of Jorge. That's what we talk about. Let me go ahead and say something as well, what my brother just pointed out. Good point. Because when you start talking about reparations stimulates the economy. Immigration drains the economy. All right. And the reason why it's so pivotal that this birthright citizenship really was a non-debate. And by the way, Donald Trump said it was a hoax, and we all knew it, because the only people who were telling us that these people could get birthright citizenship and it really belonged to them were, again, the Democrats. But that's another story for another day. That's why they wanted to have all them goddamn anchor babies. They wanted to have all of those anchor babies so they can have them a little Julio that's going to grow up to be a big Julio, and then he could send that money home. Basically, they was like little spies. It ain't no different than somebody dropping off a spy from Russia, and they're here to get intel and send different things back to Russia about America. While they was talking about Russian bots, you need to be worrying about children that grow up, take money from our economy and send it back home. That's why they wanted to have these little Julios, because Julio was going to send all of the paper all the way back home, and then next thing you know, foundational black Americans gonna be sitting here looking like, whoa, where the goddamn money go? And everybody gonna be talking about the economy. Well, that's the exact reason why. It's because they've been getting these people out to pay. And then let me also address Dr. Kubar Vasquez, because he's a tether as well. I want everybody to notice now, Dr. Kubar, he's starting to do a whole U-turn on immigration because he thought he was slick, and we didn't call bluff the same way we call everybody bluff. What he was trying to do, he was trying to make it look like he was against immigration. But here's the thing, Kubar, you can't be against immigration in terms of the Mexicans because the Africans is right there with them. I done showed everybody footage of right there at the border. You got 100 Latinos and 100 Africans right there at the Mexican border together. And he thought he was going to just call out one, but not call out the other. So the fact that we called him bluff, now what he's trying to do is have a different kind of position. Now he's on record saying Mexicans work harder than anybody. Starting to sound like Roland Martin, partner. You're starting to sound like Roland, okay? So you're dealing with a Cuban and a Haitian, all right? And two tethers gonna flock together because they come from the same feather, okay? So you see what it is, fam. These people are sympathizers. We call them brown nosers. And these people want to be down with illegal immigrants because they have ties to people from outside of this country. And it all boils down to this. Remember just what, 2 weeks ago? Remember all that World War III talk, which by the way, that went away fast. Anyway, all that World War III talk. You notice who you didn't see talking about that? I'm going to tell you who wasn't talking about it. None of the damn illegals. You know why? It's because if something were to ever happen to the United States of America, the first people that would run and never defend America or hold things down would be all of these illegals because they don't have allegiance to their own homeland. How the hell is somebody going to sell out their own homeland, have no loyalty to their home base, and think that they would do something here? Notice they was in the streets 1 month ago burning the American flag. And then when the situation was popping off with Israel and Iran, next thing you know, they went mute. It went very, very quiet. They went zero dark 30. Very, very quiet. Same way they went zero dark 30 with this birthright citizenship cancelization. So you've been seeing all of these things ahead of time. They have no loyalty to anybody other than fleeing and getting what they can get from somebody else because they cannot create. And if something ever happened to the United States of America, they don't have the Buffalo Soldiers. Shout out to Beyonce. They don't have the Harlem Hellfighters. They don't have the Black Panthers. And I'm talking about the actual battalion Black Panthers. They don't have a rich history of people holding it down in the streets for the United States. Only thing they want is money from the United States. So they can flee to the United States and they can mooch, milk, and eat off of the United States. They provide nothing other than getting in the way and burning our flags. So if you want to know who is the real outsider, who's the real foreigner, who's the real other, it's the people who came here from another country. I rest my case. Save, I don't know if you had your hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody in the room. Hey, Black Alpha. Hey, yo, has Umar ever been in one of your spaces?
No, he's too busy fighting Roland Martin over the last piece of pie. He don't got enough to come up in Black Apple space.
You know better, but let me tell y'all a story a lot of people don't know. I met Dr. Umar. I met Dr. Umar. Yep, I met Dr. Umar years ago. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm the man. Now I'm the number one activist, family, and I run this shit. But I met Dr. Umar a long time ago before he crashed all the way out because he wanted to jump on the scam Africanism. And what he's starting to realize, and everybody's realizing, that this is the reparations generation and the lineage generation. And he's on the wrong side of history. It's basically people back in the 1960s that were riding with something other than what Malcolm was talking, what Bobby was talking, what Huey was talking, what Martin was talking. There were a lot of people who picked the wrong side, and history doesn't remember them. And that's what Dr. Kubar is going down that way. And I met him way back in the day, and everything that he's talking about right now, he wasn't really talking about back then. Okay, he really wasn't talking that. He got jealous of my brother Tariq, all right, because Tariq has done a million things, and Kubar hasn't even started his school. Okay, that's been going. You got kids that was in the first grade, and these kids is graduating. School still ain't started. Then it came out,
Right.
this man's really a Cuban. Remember, everybody, Dr. Phil and Dr. Umar have the same reparations plan. They both believe we shouldn't get it. All right. So, yeah, I met Dr. Umar before. It was before I could say what I'm saying right now. Now I'm saying it, and I got millions of people listen to it because I'm the number one activist. Fuck Dr. Umar. Plain
Love it.
today. But go ahead, brother.
Love it. So yeah, so I want to piggyback off of what EJ said, man, when he was talking about how where's everybody at. Oh guys, this dude online on X named what's a Cotter Pride or something like that, man. He be on here burning his mouth all about the family. Oh God, man. I want to see him put that show. Somebody invite that dude. I want to hear him get the business on God on everything.
You
With
trying to
that, I'm
blow
gonna
the
let
whole
him.
room with that bush meat and flies. We trying to keep the room like, scented with Febreze and good smells. But if these just want to come up down there in the pits of hell, all they gotta do is just put in a request,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We can go back to listening.
Shout out to you, family. Yeah, oh yeah, they're afraid to show their faces around us the same way they're afraid to go back to their homeland. They just living in fear. They just some scared ass people. You know what I'm saying? Go to goddamn church or do something. Matter of fact, don't go to church because ICE is running up in churches and snatching you up. They go from the white Jesus to the ICE agents, but both ways they on their knees. There they go. Sister, FBA goddess, it's all on you, family.
Hey, how y'all doing? I do want to say that FBA is winning. I've been seeing FBA across all our different platforms that they are out there. Even it's saturated on TikTok right now. They do a lot of lives with FBA live streams or whatever. But then you do have the Africans come through, trying to say whatever, and they get slapped down as usual. And when you were talking about earlier why they want us at their rallies, because they know we shake the room everywhere we go. So without us, there is nothing. So they know it's not going to do anything if we're not there. So that's why they want us to come, of course, but we're not. And I was thinking about when y'all were talking about the different restaurants and things of that nature. My son went to they have a place called Cookout. If you're in the South, you know what that is, or in North Carolina. I don't know where if it's everywhere else, but my son went there to get a job because he's 16, and he was telling me, "Mom, there's all Mexicans there." It's crazy because even McDonald's across the street, as he said, was full of Mexicans. And not our children as we used to, because McDonald's was where I worked. My first job was at McDonald's when I was 14, 15 years old. So that is very true. And I guess they don't want ice in their cup either, I guess, because they don't like ice. But anyway, also also, you remember, the flags aren't waving anymore. They used to be everywhere. They used to be all up and down the timeline everywhere. You see them all the time. Now you don't see them at all. I used to have them on when I post stuff. They used to be on my posts talking shit. I don't even see that anymore. All I can say is if you want to wave your flag, go get on the deportations list. You'll be able to fly it all you want to, but don't fly it over here because we don't want it over here. Fly the shit at home when you get off that plane after get deported, fly it then. Have fun flying your flag. Anyway, yeah, you can get on your deportation list and fly it all you want to. But that's all I got. Thank you.
Much respect, my sister. Much respect. Much respect to my sister. We was out of South Carolina with a couple other brothers and sisters holding it down against the NAACP. And the Palestinians were there too. Ain't that crazy? Damn, Tether's everywhere, but I guess they're nowhere now. Shout out to you. This is what everybody got to understand, family. And this is like 100% solidified, okay? When you start dealing with all of these outsiders, we've already put it all on the table, but this is happening because of FBA. If FBA weren't calling these people out for the last few years, you would not see Donald Trump and MAGA and none of them. Because remember, Donald Trump, He was president before. Okay, this is his second term. His first term, they were very vague. They were just saying what? Build that wall. Notice you don't hear anybody saying build that wall. That was his whole immigration plan, was build that wall. It didn't have any details or nuances. We were the ones who filled in all of those details and nuances. We were the ones talking about they get dropped off in our cities that occupy us at 70%. We were the ones talking about that 12 million is really 20 million, that 20 million is really 28 million. Foundational Black Americans have been the main ones calling out the immigrants and their unlawful entries and the way that they act when they come into the United States of America, because they come over here to be elevated above us. That is why. And they don't like the fact that in the social pecking order, they're viewed beneath foundational Black Americans. Everywhere else where they come from, they reign supreme over the quote unquote Black folks, melanated folks, whatever you want to call them. The people who have darker complexion, they rule over them. And then when they come here, the social pecking order has us above all of them. So they get a rude awakening anytime they come to the United States of America. And quite frankly, they've never seen Black folks who are proud. They come here, whether they flew here, ran here, hopped here, skipped here, or jumped here. Okay, and a lot of them even crawled here. However the hell they show up on our borders, the rude awakening, the slap in the face that they receive is, damn, I'm dealing with some Black folks that love being Black, that stand on business, that don't give a damn, don't give a fuck. You will run up and you'll get done up. They're not used to dealing with us, family. We're the ones that they've been hearing about, but hearing about it and seeing it is two different things. Okay, you can hear about something your whole life, but when you face to face with us certifieds and you see that energy and that majority spirit, you're going to say, let me fall all the way back. And that's exactly what's happened to all of them. And this is why they're in the situation they're in now. They're not used to having to beg so they can stay in a country, because they're used to just fleeing countries. Now they're begging to us and we saying, hell no, adios. But let's keep the hands rolling. Miss
Hey,
Thinker.
Black Alpha, real quick.
But
Homeland Security, they posted something earlier today. They gonna get run up and get ate up because they putting them alligators in that water. So they might want to not come through that way because it's gonna be over.
you know what? Absolutely. We spoke about that earlier. What are they calling that? Alligator Alcatraz. Okay, Alligator Alcatraz. So, I know Tom Holman said he was serious, and I knew they said they was going to go ahead and recruit some new ICE agents. I did not know they was going to go ahead and go get some alligators. I mean, who's next? Snakes? I mean, what's next? Scorpions? I mean, who knows, family? But I'm watching the show. Shout out to the family. Miss Thinker, are you in the building?
Yes, I'm in the building.
Okay, it's all on you.
I agree with everything. It's just that why we call ourselves African American or Black American, that's a misnomer.
What do you mean?
If we call ourselves African American, then they're gonna send us
I'm
back
not
to
African
Africa. They
American.
just
They're
said
sending
that.
you back because I'm not African.
No, I'm asking if they're calling us African American, what they're gonna send us back. They just said that if we're labeled a different nation, then they will send us back.
Okay, ma'am.
Well, good thing I'm
So
Black.
we have to be careful. What we say and what we label ourselves as, because
okay, let me ask you
they
something.
will send us back.
Where are you from?
I mean, my father's from Carolina, so
Are
You
you
are not from here. Not
eh,
talking like that. You're
No,
not
I'm
from North
not. I'm not
Carolina.
African.
oh,
I'm not
Your parents
African.
come from over there in
No,
Africa.
I'm asking if my whole thing
and where are
is
your people?
if we are labeled,
Ma'am, where are your people from? Like
if we are labeled
I'm talking right now. Listen, certified. Where are your people from? I don't want to hear about your dad's dad, because you could be an anchor baby. Okay, so I'm asking you, and I'm telling you, matter of fact, where are your people from? Because you sound like you're not an American. You sound like you're not an American, and you're using talking points that Tethers use. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and correct the 13 other things you said that were wrong. But I want to know first and foremost, for all the listeners here, where does your lineage date back to and trace back to? Because I don't believe it's the United States.
my father's from South Carolina, but you're saying that.
Okay, beyond your father. What about your father's 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 father? Okay, you didn't.
They're from here.
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
What
I'm saying that we should
about,
not be labeled African American. You agree with that?
first off, we never said
You agree with that?
we were never African American. First
All
off, Miss
right. All right then.
Fufu, we were never African American. First off.
Okay.
We never
Thank
said that
you.
we were African American. Never have we ever used that terminology. So you might want to go back and talk to Jesse Jackson about that one, okay?
But we're not black either,
Black
because that's a
American.
misnomer too.
No, you're a misnomer and you don't know what you're talking about. So listen to me when I'm speaking, okay? We are foundational Black Americans. And yes, we are Black. And you're sounding like a tether who's running around here saying, me no Black, I don't talk no Black, no nothing. Okay, that's what you're sounding like. Your tetherisms are being exposed. On top of that forehead, on top of your eyebrows, they're showing me as well. You don't look like you're a Black American at all. It looks like you've been dumped off in my country. And it looks like you're trying to mooch off of my country and you're being exposed in my country by me, who is from this country. No one runs around here and uses the term African American. We are not going to be deported because if you haven't heard the news yet, we are non-deportable. Non-deportable means I'm going to stay right here in the United States forever, and I'm going to watch your family that's not really from South Carolina, that's really from South Senegal. Okay, and tell Akon I said hello. Shout out to Wakanda, by the way. That's probably your homeland, right? You from Wakanda? All right. Well, let me tell you something. You got a better chance of going back to Wakanda than you have staying here in the United States of America. All right. There is no such thing as an African American other than somebody who comes here from Africa. And if you don't know out here in these FBA streets that we do not identify with that term, then you are deaf, dumb, or stupid. You pick one of the three, okay? And I didn't call you those. I'm allowing you to choose with all respect. So as I said, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, that is us. And we are Black. All right. And we've been the only people representing Blackness. We've been the only ones standing on Blackness. And without us, no melanated person on the planet Earth would ever have anything. And now they don't have nothing because we're not helping them. So Blackness, BLACK, is exclusive to the United States of America. And all that talk about why you don't want to be Black, why is Blackness? That sounds like you want us to drop being Black so you can get the Africans to come and stay here. I want everybody to notice the reverse psychology and what she's trying to do. These people who are coming around, everybody trying to get us to not be Black no more, that's so they can try to pick up being Black, and then they can say, hey, I'm Black too now. I'm Black just like you. Can I stay? They want us to drop the American flag. They want us to drop the term Black. They want us to drop American so they can use their ashy little fingernails and scoop it on up. But we know that you're not strong enough to hold it the same way you're not strong enough to hold any of the fake points that you think you're making. All right. And I believe that I've exposed everything you said. You said 13, you added a 14, and all 14 got checked. And speaking of 14, what is the coincidence, family, that as we have solidified the 14th Amendment, Black Alpha has solidified the 14 lies that she has said and expose all of them in one. Eyes of these dams. So do you have anything else to say about this roasting and embarrassment that you just received from Black Alpha Network? I'm here all night.
You didn't roast me at all, because actually Wakanda's from here. If you go look at Chicago,
Did this woman just say? Did she just say Wakanda is from here? Family, if you're laughing right now, go ahead and get your laugh in, everybody. Go ahead. Get your laugh in, family. We laughing. She just said Wakanda is from here. Wakanda ain't even here in the Marvel movies. Wakanda is way over in your homeland. So, fam, let's get this right now. We shouldn't be Black no more, and Wakanda is Chicago. Were you saying Wakanda is Chicago? Is that what you're trying to get at? Because, man, that is an epic failure of epic proportions, the same way your head and forehead is epic, and the lack of hairline that you have is epic as well. I'm just being honest. I only call a tether when I see a tether. And if you don't want to be seen as a tether, then you shouldn't talk as a tether, and I wouldn't identify you as a tether. And while you identify as that, I'm going to identify as a foundational Black American, the only lineage, heritage, and culture that's ever did or built anything. You're not from South Carolina. Your paperwork is terrible. It's dirty. I know some dusty tethers that are way on the other side of Zimbabwe who look like their hairline is going to jump off the back of their shoulders, and they check out better than you. You might have the dirtiest paperwork I've ever seen. And I've seen some dirty, dirty paperwork, man. Very dirty. And you're getting roasted. Now, I know you may not be used to roasting because you're used to mud pies, but here in America, we roast people, okay? 350. All right. So the Wakanda stuff, no, Wakanda is not in America. Wakanda doesn't even exist other than either in your homeland or your head. All right. And that is crystal clear. And I put that on the table and you just have to accept it. Now go ahead, ma'am, and continue to tell us more of these lies because you're exposing yourself as the tether that we all knew that you were.
Yeah, you're exposing yourself because now you have a reason.
Hold on, FBA goddess. Go ahead, Miss Fufu.
You're exposing yourself because you know Black is a misnomer, and I'm indigenous.
Black misnomer. You still haven't said it. You're just saying that it is.
So you're not. So you're more worse.
More worse? What?
So you worse than a tether because you don't want us to identify as Aboriginal Americans. So
There is no us, okay? There is no us. And when I say foundational Black American, I am referencing the natives, the foundationals, the originals, because we're all of the above. Now, I know you can't hold that capacity in your head because you can only hold the capacity of 14 lies at a time, okay? But I can give you infinity truth in the same sentence. We are all of those people. So if you're trying to do the Black don't really mean indigenous family, it sounds as well that she wants us to drop Black so she can come over here and pick it up. And also, it sounds like she's trying to get us to drop Black so she could say that someone else is the originals, the aboriginals, the natives. It is crystal clear and proven in solidified fashion that the originals are us. So when you say foundational Black American, you're saying all of that in one statement. 3 words, foundational Black American, and it means a plethora of things. And being the original natives of this land is one of those. Where have you been at, Mrs. Fufu? Because we have made that clear. Sounds like you don't really know much about FBA because you're saying things that we've never said. You're speaking things that we've never talked on. And right now you're embarrassing yourself more than you did 5 minutes ago. And I didn't think that was possible. So again, what is your point about the misnomer? Because I asked you what being Black is as a misnomer, and you're trying to say that Black is a misnomer because it's saying we're not the original. Everybody knows that Black is the original here in the United States of America. Hell, even Christopher Columbus knew it. So how the hell could Christopher Columbus know this way back in the day, but you don't know it right here today? I have exorcised the demons. Go ahead, Miss Fufu.
First of all, I'm not Miss Fufu. And just because you don't know what African looks like, because an African does not have my forehead. And number 2, that you should know Wakanda's in Chicago if you actually researched it. So that means you're not American. You're just as bad.
Oh my God,
He
family.
said some food Wakanda is in Chicago. But check the Jumbotron.
EJ, I've heard it all now. Okay, family, I stand corrected. Okay, I stand corrected. All right. An African does not have her forehead. She has theirs. I apologize for that, family. I was talking fast and I may have stumbled upon that. Okay, she took theirs. And we're not even going to acknowledge the Chicago Wakanda thing. That is an absolute farce of a statement. That is ludicrous. That is preposterous on every level. I don't know where you got that from. We all know that Wakanda is in Africa and in a Marvel movie, and it has nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. And I have to ask you this question. Where did you get that from? Because I want to understand your tether logic, man, on how that you're saying Wakanda, Chicago have any type of connection. So did Wakanda jump all the way over the ocean and land here? Did Killmonger show up? Like, I'm asking you a question. I really want to know the logic behind that falsified statement. Go ahead, Miss Fufu. Go ahead.
And you just mute me.
No.
And you should know what Wakanda County is. You should know what Wakanda, if you were really American, you should know that. But anyway.
Well, hold on, fam. I was going to let her talk, and then she had to say that. Listen, okay, I am a...
Black is a misnomer. Black is a misnomer, and that belongs to nowhere.
It belongs to nowhere. She ain't got her words right. I thought you said misthinker. Okay, you're not thinking too well, okay? But let me talk for you. First off, ma'am, I am a certified foundational Black American. My people are from Honey Pass, South Carolina, as well as Gulfport, Mississippi, by way of Ohio, by way of Southeast Georgia, all connected. And you couldn't give me nothing more than South Carolina, family. And what's up with all of these tethers saying that they're from South Carolina when really they're from South Ivory Coast? Okay, so you tell the zebra hello, and I'm going to tell all my certified brothers and sisters hello. Shout out FBA Goddess, EJ, Rose City, Queen Alpha, much respect. I love being a foundational Black American. And I want you to notice that not only did I answer the question about being a certified foundational Black American, I gave you a multitude of states, and I also gave you the cities within those states and where my lineage resides. But yet you can't give me anything more than Wakanda and South Carolina. Now, I know that you're really not from South Carolina, and I know that Wakanda is not in Chicago, but I want to know why you keep using the term misnomer. Now, I understand you probably read your dictionary today and just found out what that word means, and you're using improper ways of speaking it, but I'm going to use the proper way of speaking it. Misnomer means a false belief in something. And the only false belief that you have is that your forehead does not look like Akon's. That's the only false one. And I'm glad you're laughing at it too. So goddamn, you laughing at your own jokes. We don't do that here in FBA, family, okay? We dish out the roasting and she's accepting it. Easy work like a part-timer. Now, tell me why it is a misnomer that Wakanda and Chicago and black are not connected, like you were saying, ma'am. And I'm going to have you answer that question without you talking about real citizenship, because it's clear based upon everything that I've named and everything that I've stated that I am a certified foundational Black American, and you sound like a certified Tether. Go ahead, ma'am.
You could tell me I'm a tether all I want, but I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Family, wait a minute. Let me ask this question. Did she just sit there and say, I can tell her that she's a Tether all I want? Is that I for me or I for you? She just said it. You can tell me I'm a Tether all I want. What do you mean all I want? All you want, all we want, all they want, who want? Who's that I refer to, ma'am? You can't really even speak too clear, family. And I'm sorry. You're talking like somebody who just learned English. And I'm not even making a joke about that. I've heard you made several grammatical errors, massive ones. Okay, when you're saying it, what you should have said is, you can say that I'm a Tether all you want. Okay, meaning you're talking to me. You can't say, you can say I'm a Tether all I want in talking to you, because you said it. Now, are you admitting what I said is true? That would be the proper fashion that was doing it. Now, if you had the certified foundational Black American vernacular, then you would understand. But you sound like somebody, based upon your grammatical errors, that you just learned English, because I really doubt that you're speaking that way. And that's not because you have an accent. Okay, so I'm not going to let you use an accent as a reason why you're speaking that, because brothers and sisters in the South, we speak perfectly clear English, and I don't think you're doing it, ma'am. Okay, so again, please, for everybody listening, can you talk properly for us so we understand what you're getting at beyond just answering my simple questions? Can you use proper English, ma'am? Floor is yours, Miss Fufu.
If I'm not using proper English, why you keep on muting me? Because the truth hurts, huh? It stings, right? It really, really stings. That's why you keep on muting me. Because if a truth teller gets mute, then they're actually telling the truth.
You can't even speak. What truth are you telling?
You're not American if you don't know about Wakanda County. You're not American.
I know about Shotgun from Mortal Kombat.
But FBA is being exposed, and I know what.
Oh, here y'all go. Oh, it took a minute, didn't it, family? It took a minute. She gave us the roundabout. Oh, you one of these anti-FBA. If you're anti-FBA, then that means you're not American, because FBA is a lineage. FBA is a lineage. You can't be anti-FBA. FBA is a lineage. So if you say that FBA is being exposed, and that means America's being exposed because we're American, and that would mean that you are being exposed because you said you were an American. The only person saying that FBA is being exposed is someone who is not FBA. If I was running around here saying Russia's being exposed and China's being exposed, that would mean that I'm not Russian or China. Now it sounds like you, ma'am, you're sitting here with some type of predisposed hatred for foundational Black Americans because you're a predisposed fleer who's not a foundational Black American. You're talking about a lineage, all right? And we are about 50 million people. So 50 million people are being exposed because you're talking about Wakanda and we don't know about Wakanda County in Chicago. Ma'am, you're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to work harder, nigga, because all of that ain't working, nigga, and we ain't falling for it, nigga. Okay? Now, what is your hatred for foundational Black Americans, and why are you here talking to foundational Black Americans spewing this type of evil rhetoric?
No one's speaking evil rhetoric. We telling the truth. Every Aboriginal, not no damn Black. That's why we know. You know, it's a Black. The Indian term Negro, Black, and African American. So, if you have a problem with that, then FBA needs to be exposed.
Wait a minute. You said
because you don't like what our real name is.
Ma'am, I'm speaking. Listen, if you don't want to be muted, then allow me to talk, or you will be muted. All right. I'm not asking, I'm telling. Listen, all you're sitting here doing is you're giving us classifications in which the white man granted us. We never wanted to be African American, never, not at all. And if the fact that you're trying to tell us that we are not the original people here in the United States of America, then you're falsified. Because if you're saying that we're not the original people, ma'am, then you're even further a tether. And if you're trying to tell us that we are, you're having a terrible time trying to explain it to us. I still truly don't know this woman's point. All I know is she's talking about Wakanda, she's talking about African American, and she doesn't want us to say Black. Family, everyone here knows that Black Americans are the original people. We are the real natives. We are the real Indians. We all know that. And family, let me ask you guys this as well. Didn't every single one of your grandmothers tell you that we were Indian? Is she missing out on hundreds of years of what grandma has told us? She's up in here saying, did y'all know that Black folks is the original Indians?
So why you call yourselves?
Did y'all know that Grandpa said that we's the real Indians? Yeah, I kind of knew that in kindergarten, as well as every black person in this space knew that in kindergarten. So how the hell are you coming to us trying to tell us about things we knew in kindergarten like you're putting us up on game? Ma'am, you're not putting us up on game. What you're doing is you're crashing out face first. Of course, foundational Black Americans are the originals, the natives. You want to talk about that? We've already said that. Of course, foundational Black Americans are the people who built this country. Of course, foundational Black Americans are Black. And if you're trying to separate Black from being the original people by using the term Indian, the Indians are Black, honey. Okay? That's who it really is. Now, you may think that Pocahontas is, or wherever you came from, but the original Indians are Black people. And you wonder why we don't see those as different is because they're not different. By the time that Pocahontas showed up, that was when those Black Indians had been here. As a matter of fact, I will give you the time frame. You speak about who's the original. We have been here for hundreds of thousands of years. So I want everybody to notice how she's trying to tell us who Black is and who Indians are, but she hasn't given me an actual chronological date, and Black Alpha has. Ma'am, I can only do all the teaching, can't do all the preaching, but we in here reaching. Go ahead.
If you knew that since kindergarten, why you continue to use those words? So anyway,
Ma'am, to use what? Oh,
anyway,
and no, don't do the tell the tap dance now. I got you.
yeah, anyway,
Y'all notice she don't answer that.
Calm down with that country and that wrestling wig.
anyway,
Let my brother talk.
Ma'am, I know what you're trying to do now. I know what you're trying to do. I
I'm
just
not
called.
doing nothing.
Man, what my man say? You know you fucked up, right? You bought the bottle of beer. You know you don't fucked up, right? Shout out to all my people who know the movie I'm talking about. You know
Menace to society.
Menace to society up here. We're menace on these tethers. You know you don't fucked up, right?
So you said you bought the divestment wig at 10:01.
You bought the divestment wig. You bought it with the bottle of beer. Okay, ma'am, you sat there. I done called you bluff now. I said the fact that you are trying to use those terms as if they're not interchangeable. And you said if I've known it since kindergarten, then how come I quit saying those words? I never quit saying them because Black means Indian, ma'am. You seem hell-bent on trying to separate Black and Indian, but you're trying to tell us that Black means Indian in the process. This is an epic failure, fam, and I don't know exactly what you're getting at. All I see is Miss Fufu talking right now, and Miss Fufu is not making points right now, and Miss Fufu is being laughed at right now. Black and Indian is simultaneous. So the reason why we use both of those terms is because we're talking about the same people. Now, I hope that is clear for you because your language isn't clear. Your words aren't clear. You haven't landed because you haven't even taken off yet. All right. You're still at the airport. Somebody's gassing up the plane. All right. But you ain't really went nowhere with what you're trying to say because I don't understand your point. I've talked to some tethers in my day, but ma'am, you take the goddamn mud pie and I'm sitting here wondering what the hell are you trying to get at? And it is a process that I want all my brothers and sisters to hear right now. This is the babble that these people will say when they're trying to get foundational Black Americans to surrender our identity, because that's what she's really trying to do. She wants us to surrender our identity, and she's using all of these backdoor avenues to try to get so. All of a sudden, the same time, birthright citizenship came down too. So ain't that funny? So, ma'am, you do know that Black and Indian are the same exact thing, and Black Americans use those terms interchangeably, don't you?
Black is not Indian, is what they called us. So you could continue using the colonizer word.
Ma'am, they also called us nigger, okay? All right, and did she just say Black is not Indian?
Why it sound like she just started talking or something? I mean, girl, what?
I'm trying to
And
figure
she
it out.
keeps saying us. What the hell?
Yes, there's no us here. No. If Akon was here, then you could say us, okay? You and him. All right, friends to the end. All right, tethers to the end. Did she just sit there and try to say, well, the white man used that term? Y'all be careful of the white man told us who we would now. Y'all be cautious of that because let me tell you about foundational Black Americans. We never gave a goddamn what the man calls us, okay? The white man was the main one telling us that Pocahontas was the real Indian, and we still said that we were. So she's making no points right now. And don't try to tell us about the colonizer family. Everybody in this space right now, I want y'all to remember what Black Alpha said. Did Black Alpha not say that these individuals will come in here and use white supremacy, that they subscribe to against us to try to recruit us. Everybody listening right now, I know y'all heard me say it. I said the same person who's out here as a friend to white supremacy always wants to use supremacy as some type of catalyst to recruit us into their belief system. She just proved the point that I made less than 30 minutes ago. She's trying to teach us about white supremacy when we have been the main ones fighting supremacy. There's not nothing about white supremacy that you can teach me, ma'am. There's nothing about white supremacy that you can lecture us upon, ma'am. There's nothing that you could speak on about white supremacy that we don't already know, Miss Foo-Foo. White supremacy and foundational Black Americans, we understand it because we've been the main ones fighting it. And it sounds like you've been the main one dropping on your knees for it. And this is why nothing you're saying is sticking to the wall or making any sense, because the same individual who wants to be lovey-dovey with white supremacy is now trying to pretend that you're some type of rider against it. You're not a rider against it. You just ride on it. And there's a big goddamn difference between the two of those. Now, make some sense, man, because you're really embarrassing yourself to everybody. And I never thought that I'd roast and teach and preach at the same damn time. Shout out to Future. Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm not embarrassing myself. You're embarrassing yourself. And you're exposing yourself because Black is the white supremacy way of saying it. So you're just exposing that you're not American. So it's all cool.
Have you been drinking?
She's got her some of that Indian reservation liquor, because this ain't your regular stuff that you can go get. Y'all know it's supposed to be a clean county out here. It's Sunday. All right. Get this up out of here. Listen, family, now they're trying to tell us that Black doesn't belong to us. They're trying to get us to denounce our Blackness, everybody. This is what they're trying to do. They don't want us to be Black at all. And they're going to try to say the colonizer named you Black, so Black doesn't exist. There's been this wave of us being foundational Black Americans. As a matter of fact, Tariq just had a space last night, I want to say, and there was somebody in his space trying to tell us to drop the term Black. And this is what it is now, family. They wanted us to drop American. They couldn't do that. Birthright, citizenship, 14th Amendment. Now they're trying to get us to drop the term Black. And they're trying to say that the colonizer named us Black, so therefore we just need to drop it. Foundational Black Americans have always taken ownership over Blackness. And those same Indians that you're referring to, those same Indians all have white people that are on every single one of their tribal chief boards. So how do you got smoke for us, but I don't see you out here talking about the $5 Indians? It's funny, family. She wants to come in here and come at us about Indian and Black, but I don't see her having any smoke for Mrs. Pocahontas, who's running around here talking about they're the originals. Ma'am, how come you don't have any issues with the $5 Indians? And how come you're trying to run interference against the real native Black American Indians? Go ahead, Mrs. Fufu. Mrs. Fufu, we're waiting on you. Go ahead. Family, I think
Stop muting me, and then I do go at with the $5. I do go at the $5 Indians. You should see my TikTok. I do go against them.
What is your experience going after them? What's your experience with them? What is your experience in going after them? What is it like?
They get at me all the time. So what are you talking about?
Question if you need to answer, and you wouldn't get mute if you quit trying to talk over the host. It doesn't work that way, okay? When certifieds are talking, you listen, okay? And you might learn a thing or two, because clearly you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now, you say that you go after the $5 Indians, and then you come after us, the real Indians. What the hell is your point then? Because you're making no point. You're just going after everybody. And I don't believe that you do go after them, to be honest with you. You probably go over there and you tap dance for those folks. And you go over there and you probably huddle up next to them and snuggle up next to them. I don't really believe you. Okay. What is your issue against Blackness? Let's just get to the brass tacks of the situation. Why don't you like the term Black? Black empowers us. Black has been the term in which we all go for. You can look back at Muhammad Ali in the 1960s. He's saying, damn, all those other names, we're Black. Black is interchangeable with all those things. Black is the umbrella in which all of our existence here in the United States comes from. You may be a melanated immigrant, because that's what I believe. We are Black. People who come over here, family, and pretend and perpetrate to be Black, they're really not. And let's make this clear, family. There's a big difference between a light-skinned Black American and a melanated immigrant. And I believe right here, family, we're dealing with a melanated immigrant who doesn't want us to be Black, because Black is the thing that empowers us. Remember, family, say it loud, I'm Black and I'm proud. And according to her, we shouldn't say it loud and we shouldn't say Black. So everything that you're saying, ma'am, is in the complete contrast of where this generation is heading. This is a generation that stands on blackness. This is a generation that waves blackness in the air. But guess what? We've been doing it. Only difference is we saying it more loud and more proud. Now, whether you like it or not, whether on TikTok you like it, whether the TikTok tethers like it, or whether the $5 Indians like it, there's nothing you're going to do to change that blackness is in the building. That's why we say certified black society, not counterfeit tether community, and which is where I believe you come from and you reside from. All right. So what is your damn issues with blackness? And whatever you say, just know that we ain't going nowhere with being black because we pump that black fist in the air, not the tether one. What is your problem with blackness?
Black is a crayon color. What are you talking about? Black is a crayon color.
She got that.
No one cannot be black. No
Pale
human
crayon.
being cannot be black.
No human being cannot be black. Boy, there goes grammatical error number 3030. Okay. Did she just compare us to crayons, everybody? Have you ever seen anybody say, well, I'm black just like the crayon box? I'm black, man, like the damn crayons. She doesn't even know the emphasis and the meaning behind when we use the term black. But yet she's trying to critique us about what black really means. Ma'am, just to educate you, we don't mean the color black like the damn crayon box. It's clear looking at the complexion of plenty of my brothers and sisters, as I just said before, and you may not understand this because you're not of the lineage. We come in all different shapes and shades and sizes, okay? We got beige, rage, we got brown, making hoes bow down, and we got black because that's where it's at, okay? So no one is running around here talking about it's black like the crayons is black. I was just talking about elementary school, and I was actually talking about kindergarten. It seems like, family, when I was in kindergarten using the crayons, I was learning that we were really the Indians. When she was in kindergarten, she thought we were the crayon box. Goddamn, sister, step your game up. Go ahead.
Apparently you think we are crayon box because you think that we're black. And my shirt is black. No one cannot be that color. Are we undertones of purple and red?
And that wig
Not
is
no
sitting back
damn
on your
black.
head.
If you actually look it up, so you think that we are a crayon box because you think everyone's black and white, and black and white was not a race. It was a status quo. It was a status quo, not no damn race. So you should know that. You should know that, Mr. FBA.
My goodness, family. Okay. First off, she apparently didn't get the whole color thing. Okay. I know the education system out there in Wakanda. Okay. Not the fake Wakanda in Chicago she's talking about isn't too good. So apparently she's not understanding that. She's fixated on the color. And I've heard this one before. This is another old, outdated thing. Ma'am, breaking news. We don't give a shit. Breaking news, we destroyed that argument 10, 12 years ago. All right. While you were somewhere making some foo-foo in some village and pretending to be a Black American, we were dispelling all of those lies about the crayon box and who's this and white and black. No one means that. And family, don't allow anybody to come over here and try to tell us that we mean black in terms of the actual color black. It's clear today, as I just showed her. You can look at everybody's icons. Not everybody in here looks like the crayon box. To be honest with you, that sounds pretty goddamn racist that you think that we're operating on that level to where we go, oh, guess what? Now you black like I'm black. You may do that in your village, all right? But we don't do that here, all right? And also, too, family, when someone says that's bullshit, they don't mean shit that came out of a bull, all right? It's called social context. And the social context in regards to this right here, black, certified black, foundational black, has nothing to do with a crayon. And the fact that you reduced us to a crayon box and just a color, that's the same exact thing that the white supremacists do, all right? And that's not going to work. And the same rhetoric that you're talking is not going to work. And the same lies and the same misnomers that you're coming up with have not worked, will not work. What does work is that we, foundational black Americans, are the only black people who are out here standing on business. We're the only black people on the planet Earth. We're the only people who adore and cherish being black, and we will regulate people who try to come out here and get us to drop being black. So you better take that back to TikTok, okay, and come up with a little tether dance to it. I heard Burna Boy's got a new song out. You can do it to that, okay? But let me tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to come over here and rewrite what blackness is because you somehow don't want us to be black, and you're not going to reduce us to a crayon box. It's funny that she's trying to reduce us to a crayon box, but she's mad that I reduced her forehead to a football field. I'm just saying, fam, we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. And just like Outkast said, if it ain't real, it ain't right. Shout out to Georgia. All right. So that's what we're going to do out here in these FBA streets. So, ma'am, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. What you need to do is Stop embarrassing yourself in public, number one, okay? And flip your bangs out a little further, and we wouldn't have to use our tether detectors to find out that you're not from here. And then three, what I really need you to do is update your game. Update your game, update your lies, update your alibis. Because every single thing that you said is coming out of 1932. And this is 2025. We are the originals. We already made that clear. No one's running around here talking about the crayon box except for you. Now, if you think that you're turquoise, go ahead. You can be turquoise. All right. If you think you're off lavender, you can be off lavender, but you on tether. So you have all of that and understand that nothing you say, nothing you speak can stop this lineage based era where we stand on the color black. And when I say the color black, I'm not talking about your crayon box. I'm talking about all of my brothers and sisters who come in a multitude of different shades who are Black American. And to be honest with you, when you say Black American, that's really the only Black people on the earth any goddamn way. Okay, so I hope you understood that. And I'm going to let some of the family speak what they have to speak, because you have been dismissed from the University of G-checking, and I am the Professor Black Alpha, and you get an F. Matter of fact, you get an F minus. All right, I got to give you an extra F because you were that wrong and that bad. Okay, so F minus to you. All right, and what I am going to do, I'm going to let some of the people in this room speak because they will give you the same work that I just gave you. If you want to stick around for it, go ahead. If you want to drop, go ahead. But either way, this is black all damn day, and you are a turquoise tether. Checkmate, checkmate, checkmate. Let me get to some of the speakers. Be Real is in the building. I want to get to some of them new people. Be Real, go ahead.
You're not roasting me. You're making your
You said you gave her a football field. She already was working with that. You just added another football field to that damn 5 head of hers. Who enough is matching somebody up with some goddamn crayons? We like Baskin Robbins. We got 31 flavors of colors. You got life, and she is a official card holder of life and bullshit.
oh
Totally
shut
mother.
up. If I'm real,
Oh,
you're
shut
not doing
up. Oh, shut. What's unreal is that
you're not
little
seeing me
head
at
of
all.
yours.
I'm actually right.
That fucking
And
head of yours
you're
is unreal. That big
teether because
motherfucking head. You
you're a
built
teether.
like
You
a
agree with the
motherfucking.
She just said a teether. God damn, family. I've heard it all before, fam. Oh, goodness gracious.
yeah,
Oh, you
damn
know
right
what?
you're a teether. You're teethers if you don't want you're a teether if you accept the colonizer name. So
Girl, we
I
all
don't
got our
give a
teeth in
fuck.
here, but I
You
don't know
could
what
talk
you're
about
talking
my
about.
forehead all the I have a brain.
No, you don't. Family, she's getting upset. She's getting upset now because our sister Be Real just upgraded the 4 head to a 5 head. And that's making her upset, very upset. And you would think somebody with a 5 head would actually be able to use their brain because you got a lot of space up there. A lot of space up there. You are a Black American hater, is really what you are. Shout out to my sister Be Real. I appreciate you, my good sister.
You're not roasting me. Trust me. You're not roasting me.
Listen, fam, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't. And I appreciate everybody who's sending me all this stuff right here. She's one of those people, okay, who really doesn't want us to be a Black American. That's really what it is, okay? Tethers want to be Black Americans, and Black Americans don't want to be tethers, especially the TikTok tethers. Family, what you have here is somebody who's on TikTok trying to critique us about what's going on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the lovely, and I mean lovely, lovely, lovely Queen Alpha. Baby, if you could drop this TikTok tether, because we don't really want any of that energy in this space today. Okay, you got roasted, man. You take your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3,000 head up out of here because foundational Black Americans don't want anything to do with you. Okay, goodbye. You tell Akon I said hello. You tell your Tether grandpa I said hello, and you tell them that this is certified Black Society, BLACK, all goddamn day, and Tethers is on their goddamn way. Somebody go ahead and call ICE and get this woman arrested, because she should be arrested for two things, okay? She should be arrested for being an illegal, and she should be arrested for perpetrating an intellectual. And based upon the way Black Alpha and the panel just roasted her, it's clear that she's not one of us. Easy work. Family, shout out to the team, y'all. This is how we do it. I want everybody to notice, though, before I spin these hands around, because, you know, one thing I like to do, Black Alpha, and I like to believe, you know what I'm saying, I'm top, 1 or 2 top roasters in the game. But one thing I like to do, family, I like to methodically, surgically break these people down, highlight every single lie that they say, roast them in the process. I did all of those. And I want everybody else to notice that they always come in here and do every single thing that we just said. She thought that she was going to say the same things that we said in the beginning of the space. Anybody who was listening to the beginning of the space, we told everyone the tactics and the measures in which they would use. And she came in here and used every single one of them verbatim, and even made up about 2 or 3 ones I've never heard before. The crayon box. Nobody's running around here talking about a crayon box. Now, I understand in her village they eat crayons because they don't have any food. I understand that. Go ahead. Much power to you. But here in the United States of America, we don't look at a crayon box and say we see black, okay? What I do when I see black is when I'm looking in the eyes of my brothers and sisters up in the building, in the place. And foundational black Americans, we are in the building. Foundational black Americans stand on business, and foundational black Americans are out here pushing principles. And when we push principles, we might even have to push a couple clear foreheads the hell about the way. But guess what? They asses is going easy. I'm gonna have to send her a crayon box. You know what I'm saying? Because you know she's a turquoise tether. Checkmate. Be real. Are you still there, sister? I wanted you to go ahead and chime in.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was gonna tell you, when you send in them crayons, make sure you address it. Go ahead, forehead. Make sure you put it on there so you know it's thorough. I'm telling you, while you was talking to her, I went straight to the profile picture. I was like, oh, let me throw this up in the Jumbotron if it'll fit. You know what I'm saying? But they becoming unhinged now because they know they went at them 14th Amendments, and they know they ass is going home, James, home. And these fuckers have been on this app spazzing out. I was in Ink Space. We was running down a few of these musty tethers. You know what I'm saying? You know when they coming into your space because they forget to put on their root work deodorant. You feel what I'm saying? And they come in, flies first. You got to spray your goddamn phone and open up the goddamn doors in your house. But that's why they spazzing out. You know, and then they quick to want to say, you are next, you are next. We next for what? We're the ones that voted you off this goddamn ship. We powerless? No, we're not. They see that not their black face have stood up and campaigned for no more of this bullshit. We line dancing, we drinking mimosas, and we kick back. We're done. You won't use us no more. We are a hybrid of our ancestors. We ain't going for that shit, and they see it. And they know we want your ass up out of here. So all you just grab your dusty flip-flops, grab your inner tubes, and get the stepping. Period.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate that, my sister. Yeah, hey, y'all told it. They mad out here, fam. They mad. They super mad. This is what happens when they losing. This is what happens when they going home. This is what happened when they spazzing. This ain't that 2023, 24 energy, y'all. This is that 2025 Black American summer. Yes, indeed. This is what happens when these folks realize that birthright citizenship gone, deportations here, homeland back. They don't like that. And we watching this. So I want everybody to rejoice. All right. Hallelujah. All right. Amen. Let's rejoice up in here because these folks are going home and they mad as hell. Check.
Hey, and you know something else too, Black? Want me to tell you the other reason why they're mad? Because see, their countries don't want them back. Their countries don't even want them back. So see, they don't know what they're gonna do when they get back to their country. They either gonna end up on somebody's plate or somebody's peasant.
Damn. Damn. God. God damn. God damn. You damn right, sister. Damn. Damn. Sound like Miss Fufu gonna be somebody else's Fufu tonight. Crazy ass world. FBA goddess. I gotta hear from you, my sister.
I ain't, I ain't got nothing to say. Y'all just said everything that need to be said. Y'all got me over here crying. Y'all, it's crazy. But I don't have nothing. It's nothing left to be said. I mean, it is what it is. Bye, ho.
Shout out to you, family. And we cleaning this American house up today, too. Everybody is running their up out of here. Got them fleeing, got them checking. Who would have thought, family, that it would be reverse migration with S's then fled to America, got G-checked by Black Americans, now S's fleeing back to their homelands. Easy.
That host said that we was talking about this that equated us using blackness to a box of crayons. That's how she got read down.
Oh yeah. What's going on, Black Alpha?
What's going on,
Thanks for
family?
allowing me up. Hey, did y'all notice how she just try to escape, even though she had a strong accent? I don't know why she thought she was gonna fool us anyway, but how she just try to cop out and say, "Oh no, my people from North Carolina." Like you hear they be in our spaces listening intensely uh to try to fit in with us. So I want people to peep that. She said she tried to say no, I'm black, I'm a black American, my people from North Carolina. They know where our people is from, so they just gonna try to use that to join the conversation. I just want everybody to know, just peep that.
Brother, good point. Let me tell everybody this. And that's something I've been examining. And it goes back to that lady, Joe Taker Edie. Everybody go look at Joe Taker Edie. If you ever get the opportunity, y'all go ahead and y'all Google her. I exposed her. I was the first one to expose her in the black media about a year ago. She was the one that was getting all those donations for Kamala Harris. By the way, how'd that work out? Not too good. Okay. Now, this woman is running around here looking like she's straight up from Ethiopia. I'm talking about straight up from Ethiopia. And she said that her people from South Carolina. Family, they've been listening to everything we've been saying about tethers, and they've been coming up with all these new little trick ways. They used to all say that they was from New York because a lot of them be from New York. And now what they doing is they trying to say they from the South because they all know that our motherland is the South. So they got to all start saying the South. You go back 3-4 years ago, every last one of them said that they was from New York. That's what they were saying. Now they start saying things like South Carolina, Louisiana, Georgia. How many of y'all seen the videos that came out where you got these folks, they're talking in these completely fake bootleg ass Atlanta accents, and then they'll start laughing, and then the Nigerian accent will kick right back in. They be out here with these fake ass Southern accents, and they were not concerned with pretending to be from the South until they heard us say that we are all Southerners and we have a homeland that resides right here in the South. This is what they be doing. They be listening. But problem for them is that we call them bluff and we see everything they do before they even try it. So all of that fake South stuff, you're going to have to stop. And let me tell you one thing about people down here in the South, okay? We understand every single Southern accent that there is out there. We understand what the Louisiana accent sounds like, Mississippi, the Carolinas, Georgia. We know what the Memphis sound like. I'm even throwing a little Midwest right there with St. Louis, okay? We right here, all right? We understand what every single one sounds like. So you're not going to try to play us with some fake-ass Southern accent because we know that y'all was running around here 3 or 4 years ago saying that y'all was all from the Bronx and y'all was from Brooklyn and all that, and now y'all want to pretend to be from down here. Hell no, that ain't gonna work. You better try somewhere else because we know goddamn well you are not from the South.
I noticed them just never say they from Cali. I have yet to come across one that has
Good point.
they're from Cali.
Good point.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what they fail to realize, a lot of people from down south, which is my parents, migrated from down south. Because my parents are from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and they came from there down here to California. But I noticed they do stick to that south. But like you said, no matter where we go, we know where we're from. If I go back down south, they'll know I'm from down. I was born and raised in California. We know these things, but that was just something I wanted to point out too.
And I'm glad you did. You absolutely right. Yep, they stay far away from California. Yep, absolutely. I've yet to see a Nigerian run around here or a Zimbabwean run around here and say that they from Compton. Nope, they stay clear because they know they're going to get exposed. Fam, everybody got to understand this. Our lineage being airtight, us being brothers and sisters, kings and queens, goddess and gods, us understanding that we got the East Coast, the West Coast, down South, Midwest, we all combined. The fact that we stand on this family thing, I always call it the FBA family tree. The FBA family tree, quite frankly, is like a force field. It doesn't allow any outsiders to come in. This is why you're seeing all these people. They run around here all day, every day, trying to penetrate what we have created, and they just can't because they're not strong enough, and we too strong, and we stop all of that. This is why it's good for us to have these spaces. This is why it's good for us to be in here because we can permeate that real FBA spirituality and energy to where, like my sister just said, if one of us is walking down the street in the South, people gonna know. If you come from the East Coast, you gonna know. You come from the Mid, you gonna know. And what we do know for sure is a new face. We know a new face and a face that does not belong. So if they think that they're going to squeeze in that 4 head, 5 head, 6 head, and we not going to see it, you out your goddamn mind. And that's exactly what we've been doing, family. We've been exposing every last one of them. This FBA thing, and I put the emphasis on black. Okay, because all this stuff now, see, they wanted us to not be American anymore. All right, that didn't work. Now they're trying to get us not to be black. Nobody was concerned before about blackness until they start seeing how we've been standing on this foundational black American business and we've been empowered by that. And one thing I'm not going to let happen is no Tether come here to the United States of America and try to steal, strip away, or get us to drop blackness when these be the main ones always trying to use blackness when they want to get some type of degree, get some type of home loan, get some type of business loan. It's funny that they don't want to be black no time until it comes to stealing from us, the only people who are black. That's how they've been trying to use us and abuse us, but it ain't working. That's why they is going back the hell home, and foundational black Americans are home, and that's pissing them off. Shout out to the birthright citizenship that has been canceled. Shout out to the 14th Amendment. It's never been no damn debate. What it is what the hell we say it is because we FBA and we say so. It's always been about this lineage, heritage, and culture. That's what it's always been about. And as soon as that damn law pops off, as soon as the news dropped yesterday, these folks out here spazzing out. They out here talking about crayon boxes. If all you got is a damn crayon box and a big ass forehead, and you ain't got nothing. But I'm gonna tell you what I got. I got a phone, and that phone has numbers, and I'm gonna punch in a couple digits, and then I'm gonna call ICE, and then ICE has a white truck. And ICE has handcuffs. Those handcuffs will escort your ass to a plane, and it's going to take your ass back to your homeland. And while you are over there in your homeland talking about a crayon box, I'm going to be right here in my homeland laughing at your ass the same way we are right goddamn now. And number one activist in here, Black Alpha Network, all goddamn day. All goddamn day. Super strong family on an island all by myself. Listen, everybody got to understand this thing. And this is what I'm talking about. When I say FBA winning and these illegals are getting deported, that's triggering a lot of people. It's triggering a lot of people. And the reason why these people get triggered, family, quite frankly, is because they understand that they don't have the protections in which they had. See, when that TPS got canceled the other day, that was more than just people getting a little cards revoked. That was more about a precedence being set in the United States of America that no longer can you mooch and no longer can you tether. Quite frankly, everybody's not feeling this whole illegal influx that's been happening. And Black Americans been the main ones calling these damn people out, as we should. And now what you're seeing is that they come up with a million different ways. I said this just the other day. Quite frankly, the minority umbrella is just a million different ways of trying to trick us. All right. I want everybody to notice you're going to hear a million different ways of people trying to trick Black Americans into falling for the gambit. It's going to be this person talking about crayons, this mother talking about Juan Crow, that mother down the street talking about we all black, brother. It's going to be some type of way, but all roads lead back to FBA come save us. I got a lot on my mind, okay? And I ain't got a lot of time. Let me go ahead and roast this on up because I know the mud pie folks, they don't know what it's like to roast nothing, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead because, she's still in there listening to us, by the way, y'all. She's still listening. She said ICE is going to come after us. Okay, so that's straight up Tether Democrat talking right there. Yeah, ICE is going to come after us. Have you not been watching the news, Miss Fufu? Okay, have you not been watching the news? Because ICE is out there. And by the way, all these people running around here saying ICE is going to come get us next. Okay, then why would they wait if that's the case? First off, they can't do it. Second off, what are they going to wait? They're going to say, we'll do it later. Let me tell you something. If that's what they could do, then they would do it. The fact that they ain't doing it is because they can't do it. That's what it is. So miss me with all that next. And I'm going to tell you what's next. First is going to be that Friedman forehead. Next is going to be that goddamn hairline. Next is going to be that Jollof. Next going to be that goddamn burrito. Next going to be that chicken chow mein. Next going to be that fajita and Bel Grande. All right. But let me tell you what ain't going to be. It ain't going to be soul food. You feel me?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
they would
family.
say,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's real unfortunate that everybody couldn't work together, but I could see why this grassroots movement sprang up because it was decades of like one-sided partnership. It was the Black Americans were reaching out, the Pan-Africanist movement, which led to nothing. It was decades of us reaching out and getting nothing in return. I know older baby boomers who like really believed in it, and they said it was a waste of their time because when they would go to Africa to try to big up the continent, they tried to counteract the negative stereotypes, and all they did was get robbed. As soon as you land in the airport, you're getting scammed. You're getting robbed. You got to pay all these fees. Give us this. You don't get citizenship. If you get land, you can only lease it for like a couple of months. I mean, a couple of years, maybe 10 years, 20 years. but there's so many land deed scams that someone could say they sold you the land. It doesn't. Different countries, including Ghana, where they had the year of return, which was a scam. They had all these schemes, and people would say they own the land, but then you go to the office, and another person would say, no, you didn't have this proper deed. That was false. But meanwhile, your money is gone. So the thing about them, like, trying to make us go there, there's not a rule of law. Like here, things happen. We don't always get a fair shake, but there's a possibility of justice because we have institutions, strong institutions that have been here for dozens of years. And like, I have friends that are Chinese, Italian, whatever. And my Chinese friend, he was able to start a business, and he got it at scale for cheap because he would partner with his Chinese uncles, cousins, people he was dealing with, and get products for cheap and sell it here for a crazy markup and make money. I mean, God literally blessed those people with their birthright is the resources under their feet, and yet they don't exploit it. They let others come in, divide them up into 54 countries, and they have no viable Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines, no spy agencies, no space program. And these Europeans take their resources and subjugate them with it. Then they have corrupt presidents that are like 70, 80 years old that sell them out, sell trillions of dollars of resources for pennies on the dollar, send those corrupt politicians, send their kids to schools in Europe. They have villas in Europe, and they let the people starve. They don't build the infrastructure, no roads, no sewage. It's just some millionaires and then poverty. There's like no working together, and they really squandered the opportunity for decades and decades of not reaching back and helping. So it was natural that the response would be, we have to be self-interested, we have to help ourselves, and it's the resources are finite. The government cannot just keep giving money to other groups. The debt is this high, so unfortunately that group, they're cleaning house. And by and large, even though I don't like the Democratic Party, I'm a registered independent, Black people still overwhelmingly voted for Democrats still, so anything that happens to people that got to get sent back, it's not really our fault. You have to go speak to the Hispanics who voted overwhelmingly for the Republicans, and then they got betrayed. But we carved out a space for ourselves. It's almost as if like you bake a cake, and then everybody waits until it's done and it smells good, and then they want a piece. But it can't be like that anymore. I mean, the only way that everybody gets out of their oppression, everybody has to go back home, build their own countries. Africans have to build Africa. Caribbean people have to build the Caribbean. And we're going to build here because we have hundreds of years of history here. We have blood and sweat equity here. So we have to take care of our birthright. I mean, nobody would buy groceries and then after you pay for it, you just walk out and leave it. So that's as dumb as telling us to just drop everything, betray the government, and like go to another country. I mean, my grandfather fought in World War II. My family was like in every war since the founding of the country. Why would I we're not traitors. I mean, we're Americans. It is what it is. And we're not like just Africans. Like a lot of Black Americans have lineage from multiple groups. There were Black people who circumnavigated the globe way before the red natives people came over the Bering Straits. So we're a mixture of many peoples. We're a mixture of Black Aboriginals, the red natives, the enslaved Africans, and because our women didn't have bodily autonomy, we are mixed with Irish, unfortunately, and if you're in the Louisiana area, the French. So we were literally created in America. We're like made in America, literally. We exist nowhere else. So we have multiple lineages, but just because people have a certain look or a phenotype, you just can't, we're not just flat Africans. So, I mean, we're more American than anyone else, basically. And that's all I got to say. It's unfortunate, but they got to handle their candle. They got to deal with what they got to deal with. Build up the country, kick out your corrupt politicians. And if you're Mother Africa, take care of your kids. I mean, there's Africans drowning in the North Africa. If they don't get captured by the Arabs before they drown in the Mediterranean, they're just taking a beating. You gotta like fix that continent, make it somewhere. If you want us to come, make it somewhere livable. Fix it. You have everything under there. You have rare earth minerals. You have gold. You have everything. Just exploit it. Kick out your corrupt politicians and do what you got to do. And then if there's some kind of trade and travel that's equitable, then we would deal with that. But you can't just keep take. There was bound to be some kind of response. And so people just have to like deal with reality. And that's all I got to say.
Let me say one thing, family. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there. I actually am taking full responsibility for these people being deported. I actually am. I'm taking all that stuff where, they got to get mad at the Latino who voted.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, you're damn right. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm taking full responsibility for it. Okay, because one, I don't believe that these people would be out here getting deported if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans calling out the illegal immigrant crisis that harms us. I mean, think about it. They harm our communities the most. They've been doing studies since the 1970s, and all of the data has came back that they harm us the most. When Donald Trump went out and he said they take Black jobs, he's saying that based off of what we've been saying. We were the ones on the forefront really having to deal with these people because every single immigrant who comes to the United States of America comes here to take from FBA. They don't ever get dumped off in the white communities. What happened when they try to dump those people off in Martha's Vineyard? Okay, that was the only time that they had to deal with what we've been dealing with. They've been dumping these people off in our communities for eons. Nobody said a word. They was taking our jobs. Nobody said a word. Soon as they try to dump them folks off in the white community, then it became such a dreaded thing. But this has been the reality for us for the longest amount of time. Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about this in the 70s. Dr. Claude Anderson been telling everybody that they are the number one beneficiaries of taking from FBA. So the fact that we're the ones who made a fuss about it by all of us in the grassroots standing on business, letting these people know, checking them. How do you know what I'm saying is true? Because 99.9% of the videos that you've seen leading up to the election of people calling out some of the bad behaviors of illegals were from Black Americans. We were the ones filming these people getting dropped off in Atlanta, getting dropped off in New York, getting dropped off in Missouri, getting dropped off in Louisiana. It was always a Black American behind the cameras showing everybody, see, look, because these people being dropped off where we are. We're the ones who really made it a big deal. Look at all the brothers and sisters up there in Chicago with Flips Red. Look at all of that. They were making that fuss. You don't really hear too many white folks in Chicago saying anything. It's the Black folks in Chicago saying things. So them getting deported and the illegal immigration and the mass deportations that have been occurring, that is all because we spearheaded that. Again, in 2016, Donald Trump was just saying, build that wall. It was very, very vague. And all they said was, we just going to build a wall and that's it. All the details and all the nuances come from us. It all comes from us. We were the ones out here talking about these people are getting drunk and then they're crashing their cars and they're harming us. Okay, that's always been Black Americans. So the fact that all we did is that we told the world that that's an issue. Now the world picked it up as an issue. Donald Trump took it and he pushed for ICE. Now they're getting deported. Man, that got FBA fingerprints all over. And what were we saying? We were saying reparations and deportations. That's what we were saying the whole election cycle. So there would be no mass deportations right now if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans. No, it wouldn't. I don't even think Donald Trump would have won the election, to be honest with you. He won the election based on mass deportations, and mass deportations became an issue because we made a big deal about immigration. Remember, Joe Biden was running around here telling us we got to work with Latinos. All right, so they kept throwing it. He kept saying illegals built America. Every single thing that they were doing was in absolute contrast to what we have done. They were giving these people in real time our history. They were saying that these people built America. They were saying that these people created hip hop. All that hip hop summit shit that they was having last year at this time, all that was basically, come on, illegals, we gonna hand y'all FBA culture. We were talking about the erasure. Everybody talks about an erasure. Then you got to ask yourself the question, who were the main people a part of the erasure? The people that were being recruited for the erasure were the illegal immigrants. And they were being recruited by the liberal and the Democratic Party. Those were the people that were facilitating the whole erasure going on, because there's always been a hidden law in the United States of America. That is that these people come over here to our country and they get benefits and tangibles that belong to us. That's why they came up with terms like African American. These terms were created to create a bridge that facilitates our resources over to them. Minority. How come you don't use these terms with anybody else? How come nobody else out there has a term? How come white folks aren't a part of these coalitions? How come they're not a part of all of these different groups? How come nobody else had those terms and those jackets placed on them other than us? because it was methodically created to come up with terms that would allow us to blend ourselves in with everybody, and then all those everybody's get what we created, what belongs to us, and then they run away into the sunset. Foundational Black Americans in this generation said, fuck to the no. We said, hell no, that ain't gonna happen. And by us being on code, going to these reparations hearings, by brothers and sisters being out there in the street standing on business, so they were stealing our terminology, stealing our identity. They want to steal our reparations, all based on these words that they were creating that lumped us in with them. So when we got our verbiage tightened, we said, man, hell no, you a tether, okay? You not like us. Everything that we did last year was drawing lines in the sand, come up with every term, every word, every philosophy. And it was basically in plain proletarian English. We were saying, them motherfuckers is not FBA, and FBA ain't like them motherfuckers. And we drew that line in the sand. And once that line was created and put in the sand, now everybody else has to hold their own. So I take full credit for all of the deportations going on in the United States of America. Tom Homan, first thing he did is he went to Chicago. He went to Chicago and he said that the Black community was up in arms about what was going on. First thing he did. Donald Trump, Black jobs. They kept referencing us because one thing that you learn about Black Americans is that change doesn't come from America. Change comes to America. All right. One more time. Change does not come from America. It comes to America. Everyone else gets things that are handed to them, where in essence, what we got to do, we got to bring it. And brothers and sisters was out there bringing it. The same way we bring in the reparations. The next step, family, is reparations. That's the next step. The next step is going to be us getting that bag, getting that money. And the reason why that's the next step is because through this whole process of the birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment, what that really ended up doing, fam, and unintended consequences, they ended up doing us a favor. I'm going to tell you the favor that they ended up doing for us. They made identity and citizenship a front page news story. See, when we were telling everybody, man, we Black American, Black American, Black American, they came up with every single hurdle to try to stop us from being Black Americans. Now, everybody's talking about us. Think about it. Donald Trump just had a whole press conference and he kept talking about the babies of slaves, the babies of slaves, the babies of slaves. So this whole immigration conversation highlighted birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship highlighted the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment highlighted us. So through the course of all of these debates and all these battles, they ended up doing us a favor and making our identity even bigger than what it already was in terms of the scope of American discourse. So I want to send a shout out to Julio for trying to steal my shit. Thank you very much. I want to send a shout out to Pedro for trying to steal my shit. I appreciate the love because all you did was make it clear. Everybody woke up today and they're talking about Black Americans in the 14th Amendment. And we weren't even out here having to say that because we already knew what it was. So all they did was just threw us that goddamn alley-oop. And that's good. And that's what Tethers keep on doing. They keep fucking up in the process. They fucked up their homeland. They fucked up when they fled. They fucked up when they get snatched up by ICE. And they fin up giving us these catalysts and these catapults to take our message to the next level. And all we're going to do after that is slam dunk that shit. And that's the way we've been moving. And that's the way we're going to continue to move. So I say it again, FBA winning, illegals are getting deported. And I support it 100% wholeheartedly. They got to leave about this country because we are on the lineage-based era, a generational reparations movement, not a struggle, a movement, and it's getting bigger every single day. And these people are crashing out, and that's good because we remember every single thing that they were saying about us. Now they got to hold their own. The world has become very, very ethnicity-based. And I want everybody to understand that your ethnicity, it's all about your lineage. And the fact that it's about your lineage and your ethnicity, that's the same exact time that we started to delineate. And that's the same exact time we started to regulate. So we got off of all of those fraudulent names at the right exact time. Anybody running around here with a movement based on Pan-Africanism, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Anybody running around here with a movement based on minorities, that ain't going to work. Who the hell is a minority? I don't even know who that is because we're not. You know what I'm saying? Anybody running around here talking about people of color, that's not going to work. We seen what happened with the Black and Brown Coalition. They couldn't get none of us to go out there in them streets. So anybody running with those, they're on the wrong side of history. They're on the wrong side of history. And slowly but surely, everybody's starting to have to digest it. See, they digestive tracts are starting to have to go ahead and accept the fact that foundational Black Americans, with the emphasis on foundational, with the emphasis on Black and the emphasis on American, we're controlling and dominating everything going on right here in the good old USA. We're the talk of the town, family. We the talk of the town. We got the key to the city. Everybody's talking about us. Everywhere you go, people are talking about foundational Black Americans. Nobody made the headlines more than us last year. Nobody's making it more than us this year. It's all about this lineage, and we've been the ones dishing out the L's. So the African American, that's gone. Ain't nobody on that. You come around here talking about African American, you're going to get clowned. You're going to get clowned. We correcting people in real time. And all the people that was running around here talking about Juneteenth was theirs, you don't see them no more. Because half them people done got deported. Family, and I mean this, and I'm not even playing. Half of them people making those Juneteenth Caribbean videos and them flyers, I promise you, half them folks is packing their bags to go home right now. Because a hell of a lot of them were Jamaicans, travel ban, and a hell of a lot of them were Haitians, TPS revoked. So you won't be seeing them. They goddamn TikTok accounts done been shut down. They all done went ghost, and they all out the way, and they all out the pain. And that's the way it should be, because we FBA and we say so. Bottom goddamn line. So I stand on firm, solid business, fam. We getting stronger every damn day. What I see right now, everybody, I see Black Americans who are independent, standing on our own business, not giving a damn about nobody. And I see all of the tethers and the fleers and the hoppers and the skippers and the jumpers and the swimmers. I see all of them sweating bricks right now. I see all of them tethered tears. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't know where the hell they're going to be. They're having temper tantrums. They falling out. They crying in public. And ICE has still got them goddamn handcuffs. And then on top of all of that with ICE, I see a hell of a lot of people with ICE. And what are they doing, y'all? They out there saying, bounty hunters, come on down. They saying, pull them damn vans up, put the mask on. Meaning, translation, it's only going to get worse for them, and it's only going to get better for us, because the more these people are out of our way, the more we got rid of all of those liabilities, the more we done pull that tether plug out the goddamn wall, and we let it know that it's foundational Black Americans first, foundational Black American always, and foundational Black Americans only.